the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to
rumble! Yeah, to the yeah. Coach Malachi Williams in the building. Represent for New Media Today USA Boxing. And I want to give a special shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now who showed up a little bit early and who will be coming in later on today. Yes, y'all. It is what it is. Hey, man, it's happy Friday to everybody. If you're in the UK, good evening. Happy evening in the UK. You know, we have some good things going on in the sport of boxing. I drink a gallon of water a day, so this is about 24 ounces, 24-ounce cup. But anyways, we have some good news going on in the sport of boxing. Contrary to popular belief, aside from all of the drama that's going on, you know, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. We can't even focus on that right now. I think it's time for us to move on as a boxing community. Let's move on and focus on the fights that are happening versus focusing on fights that are supposed to happen, may not happen. If it happened, we're not worried about the if supposed to be in the post, you know, the supposed or allegedly fights that's supposed to happen. We're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna focus on what's going on. You see what I'm saying? Now, what I have been noticing, I don't watch television, right? I don't watch television, so I can't really tell you if there's been a lot of promotion going on for this fight. I do know that Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo Alvarez, they do have a fight coming up May the 8th, which is next week, next Saturday. We know they're fighting in Texas, Austin, Texas at AT&T Center. So we know that's going down. I haven't been seeing anything on television, to be honest with you, because I don't watch television. You know, I haven't watched television in probably maybe, almost 2 years. You know what I mean? I might be the only black man in America that don't watch television, but I don't. I just don't watch it. Anyways, so I don't know if there's been a whole bunch of promotion about it. I do have the DAZN app. DAZN has been promoting this fight. So I do see that on the promotions. I haven't been seeing Billy Joe Saunders do any interviews. I see him hanging out with Tyson Fury. I see Billy Joe Saunders complaining about Eddie Hearn. But hey, you know, all I know is this here. He's in an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. All of the other stuff, we can push all that aside. All of that doesn't matter. Whatever complaints Billy Joe Saunders may have, him or Tyson Fury, or about Eddie Hearn, that's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is you have a fight coming up in a week from now. And none of that is going to matter when you step in that ring. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to my main man. As a matter of fact, let's do this. You know how we do it. I want to give a special shout out to my main man, my brother, Halim. Halim in the building. You see what I'm saying? Edward Morris. Let's see. Who else we have? Some guy. What's going on, fam? Peter Barnard. What's going on, fam? My brother, Diallo Huggy. What's going on, fam? Mr. Angus. What's going on with you, fam? Andrew, what's going on? My sister Lisa Bales. As a matter of fact, what we're gonna do, we're gonna ring the Ali bell right now for Lisa Bales, Halim, my brother Diallo Huggy, Peter Barnards, some guy. We're gonna ring the Ali bell right now. You see, we're gonna do that. Oh, and also we have a super chat for my sister, Lisa Bales. Lisa, thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. What's going on with you, sis? I know you work very hard. I hope you and your family are safe. And I hope you taking good care of yourself and your family. Mr. Angus, what's going on, fam? Salute to you as well. You know, so basically, you know, guys, you know, we're gonna keep this about 2 hours today. We're gonna bang it out, and I just want to talk about something different. You know what I mean? Because we do have other fights coming up, and we understand the drama that's going on with in the heavyweight division, pretty much with one fighter in his camp. But we're not even going to address that. We're just going to focus on Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders. Wizard Sleeve, what's up, fam? What's going on with you? My main man, Edward Morris, what's good, fam? And we're going to give another Ali bell for everybody else who just showed up in the chat. And also Karma Serene, she's not here, but we're going to do a Ali bell for her and my main man, Blood Boxing, and my main man, Mr. Shelton Moore. We're going to do that as well. So listen, guys, I really wanted to talk about this fight because it's a week away. And there's no need to keep beating the dead horse about what's going on in the heavyweight division. Let's just give it a change of pace for a minute. And let's talk about the fights that are happening, what's going down. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to focus on today. And then we are going to address the Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez fight that's going to be coming up. But we're going to dedicate this particular episode to Mr. Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders. Now, Elvis, what's going on, fam? Alex, what's going on? D-Style Boxing. We have a super chat from D-Style Boxing. Heard Punch shot you out. What's up, brother? Yes, sir, man. I really appreciate that, man. D-Style Boxing. Thank you so much for the super chat. Punch is my main man. I got a lot of love for Punch Boxing. He has a lot of passion. He's funny as hell too. Hey, Punch crazy the hey, Punch one of them crazy Puerto Rican dudes from New York, man. He funny the motherfucker, man. Him and my main man Shadow Ghost, you know, they funny. And it's a whole bunch of other guys, rap star out there in the UK. I have a list of channels that I rock with, and I wrote it down on this big ass pad that everybody be laughing at. But we're gonna get right into Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez. Now, we do know this. Once again, shout out to my brother D-Style Boxing. We're gonna ring the Ali bell for D-Style as well. Now, we do know this. Oh yeah, also another super chat for William Boxing. William Boxing, King Nello will knock out Billy. Yes. Everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying that Canelo is going to beat Billy Joe Saunders. I don't know if he's going to knock him out. You know, I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy. Al Dunford, what's going on, fam? Salute to you. I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy. I'm going to bet $100 on Billy Joe Saunders. I'm going to tell you why. I look at the Las Vegas odds, right? The Las Vegas odds is this. The Las Vegas odds is Billy Joe is plus 400, plus 450, right? And Canelo is minus 700. So what does that mean? That means is if I put $100 on Billy Joe Saunders, I will make $450 back. And if I put $700 on Canelo, I will make $100. You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what that means. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, you know, betting on Canelo, you ain't gonna really get no money betting on Canelo because Canelo is expected to win anyways. You see what I'm saying? And nobody's giving Billy Joe Saunders a shot. Nobody. You see what I'm saying? Now, Canelo Alvarez does have a better resume than Billy Joe Saunders. I will admit that. And guess what, guys? I looked at Billy Joe Saunders' entire resume this morning. I've done a lot of research on this guy, and I looked at Canelo Alvarez. Now, Canelo Alvarez, his first 32 professional fights were in Mexico. So his first 32 fights, we don't know who the hell he fought. You see what I'm saying? We do have his record. I pulled it up on the internet. So he doesn't have a stellar record his first 32 fights. You know what I mean? But he was real young, so we got to give him credit for that. He was a real young fighting these grown men. Now, his 33rd fight, he fought Miguel Cotto's brother. And I'm going to tell you right now who that was. Who was Miguel Cotto's brother? I forgot his name. As a matter of fact, it's right here. Let me pull it over here, guys. Pull it over here, right? Pull it over here. Let's see. Canelo Alvarez, first 32 fights, guys, were in Mexico. He fought 32 no-name guys that I never heard of, right? Or I'm not going to say never heard of because I have heard of Miguel Vasquez in his 21st fight, but his first 32 fights, he fought in Mexico. Didn't nobody really know who he was, right, in the U.S. His 33rd fight, he fought Jose Cotto, which is Miguel Cotto's brother, his younger brother, right? So, and he beat him. As a matter of fact, not only did he beat him, I think he stopped him. Jose Cotto, yeah, he knocked him out in the 9th round, and it was a TKO, and it was a 10th round fight. Charlo, baby, what's going on? My main man, Charlo, let's ring the Ali bell for Charlo. Let's ring the Ali bell for Edward Morris. You know what I mean? So this is, and Alex Gonzalez, what's going on? And Mr. Angus. So this is what we know, right? Now, you know, I'm not the resume guy. You know how a lot of people say, well, his resume, he ain't fought nobody, yada, 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 yada. Just like King Midas, as I was told, everything that I touched turned to gold. Let's ring the Ali bell for my main man, King Midas, Ed Morris, Peter Barnarks, Kid Stacy. What's going on, baby boy? Hey, listen, so anyways, Canelo, his 33rd fight, he fought Jose Cotto, right? Jose Cotto is Miguel Cotto, as you know, the legendary Puerto Rican fighter out of Puerto Rico, man. Miguel Cotto is one of my favorite fighters. The guy's a warrior. He's a legend. You see what I'm saying? And then from there, he started taking off. So what I did was I just wanted to cover both of these fighters' last 10 fights. I was watching the Martin Murray Billy Joe Saunders fight. Billy Joe Saunders looked phenomenal against Martin Murray, but who the hell is Martin Murray? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, you know, and that's what a lot of people are saying. I'm hearing a lot of this from the UK fans. You have some UK fans, not all, but some UK fans who I know, they'll say that, hey man, Canelo gonna beat the brakes off of Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders hasn't fought anybody. So I'm getting ahead of myself, right? So let's look at this, guys. Let's look at the pros and cons of Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez. Let's look at some of the tangibles. Because at the end of the day, resume is not gonna mean anything when they step in that square circle. We know this. You know, the hungriest dog is going to get the steak. We can't worry about what the referee is going to do. We can't worry about the judges. We can't worry about none of that. That's why I think Billy Joe Saunders is playing head games, psychological warfare, by saying that this is what he's worried about, the judging, this and that. And then he's with Tyson Fury. They're in Vegas together. They doing a knob job on not a knob job, but they're putting the job over on Eddie Hearn, talking bad about Eddie Hearn, saying this and that. You know, hey, at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn got you that Canelo fight. At the end of the day, say what you want to say about Eddie Hearn, but Billy Joe signed with Matchroom. I don't think Eddie Hearn put a gun to his head and made him sign. He signed because he saw financially it would be beneficial for him and his family, and now he's in the ring with Canelo. So if Eddie Hearn didn't do anything else, he did that. You know what I mean? Whether he's a liar, this, that, whatever, that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is, Eddie Hearn made the Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders fight happen. And it is because Canelo wanted to fight Billy Joe and Billy Joe wanted to fight Canelo. See, when you have two fighters that want to fight each other, there's no A side, B side stuff. There's no you on the other side of the street. There's no we going to fight, we may not fight. Oh, if you don't hurry up and do this, I'm walking away. There's none of that when you have two fighters that want to fight each other. You know, but it has to be two that wants to fight. You see what I'm saying? So I respect Billy Joe. I respect Canelo Alvarez for at least getting in the ring and willing to put on a magnificent fight so that us fans will have something to enjoy. Now, who is going to win? I don't know. We know that Canelo Alvarez is a heavy favorite. He's a minus 700 favorite over Billy Joe Saunders. Once again, guys, I'm betting $100 on Billy Joe Saunders. I know yesterday I said I'm going to bet the house and the cars and the cats and the dogs and everything on Billy Joe. I was just joking. Now, I ain't no fool now. I'm not no fool. You see what I'm saying? But I will say this. You know, I'm gonna give him a shot. You know what I mean? I mean, it reminds me of when Marcos Maidana fought Adrian Broner. I think I was the only one in my family that betted on Marcos Maidana. Everybody was like, hell no, man. How you gonna bet against Adrian Broner? He the next coming to Floyd Mayweather. And this and that and yada, 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 yada. And he got his ass beat. Now, I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen next Saturday with Canelo, but and Billy Joe, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, you know, there's a reason why they have upsets in the sport of boxing. Upsets is when all of the experts in boxing give their opinion, not facts, opinion on who they think is going to win the fight. So when all of the experts are betting on one fighter and this other fighter, no one is looking at him. The guy is 30-0. Billy Joe Saunders is 30-0. And I'm not here just to make an argument for Billy Joe Saunders. I just want to be fair in my analysis. Everybody and their mama is betting on Canelo Alvarez. I might be the only guy in the United States that's saying that Billy Joe Saunders can possibly win this fight, and I'm betting on him. I don't know nobody that's saying anything about Billy Joe Saunders here in the U.S. I don't know anybody. I'm saying I don't know anybody personally. You see what I'm saying? All of my Latino homeboys, you know, all the Latinos are going for Canelo. You already know that. You see what I'm saying? You ain't gonna find a Latino, whether he's Mexican, Boricua, Dominicano. You know what I mean? If he from Peru, España, you know what I mean? Guatemala, you know what I mean? Mexico. It doesn't matter. All the Latinos are united on one thing: Canelo is going to beat Billy Joe Saunders. Now, there's a lot of fight fans on the YouTube universe is saying that Billy Joe is going to get his ass beat. You see what I'm saying? This is what I've been hearing, right? So, Jeff Lucietta, what's up, fam? LR, what's going on, brother? Dragon Leg, what's up? Let me go ahead and ring the Quan, what's going on, man? Let me go ahead and ring the Ali bell for you guys. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So Billy Joe Saunders, no one is betting on you, sir. No one believes in you, sir. I have to tell you this on this camera. No one believes in you. No one thinks you're going to be able to win this fight. People think that you are wasting your time by stepping in the ring. People think that Billy Joe, when you get in the ring, Canelo Alvarez is such a superb boxer. He is the greatest boxer in the history of Mexican boxing. When I say Mexican boxing, I'm not saying that Mexico started boxing. I'm just saying that all the Mexican champions, they're saying that he is the greatest of all time. You know, Canelo Alvarez is the best fighter to ever put on a pair of gloves. He's better than Ali. He's better than Joe Louis. He's better than Tyson. He's better than Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. They're saying that Canelo Alvarez is the greatest boxer in the history of boxing. This is what they're saying, Billy Joe. and they're saying, Billy Joe, that you are a weak opponent, you are a hype job, there's nothing special about you. I hope these words are motivating you, Billy Joe Saunders, because this is what people are saying about you. People from the UK, not all, I can't speak for everybody in the UK, but I know this sister that I don't rock with no more. But I know this sister, she doesn't like a lot of UK fighters. I just say that. She likes one UK fighter, and that's Anthony Joshua. So, but she doesn't like too many UK fighters, and she always bets against UK fighters, you know. So, and she was one of the ones who told me that Billy Joe Saunders don't have a chance, right? So, me being the type of guy that go against the grain, I don't listen to what everybody say. I'm going to bet on Billy Joe Saunders. That's it. I'm betting on Billy Joe, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's look at the pros and cons of Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez. Now, this is what I noticed about Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders, and you know I have my big-ass pad, my notes. Billy Joe Saunders, he has excellent footwork. I've watched several of his fights. This morning, I went and done some research. I'm like, man, this dude can really, really box. And now, and if you ask a lot of boxers, like even like Adrian Broner and stuff like that, if you ask a lot of the boxers, let me go ahead and drop the link. Drop the link down here, guys. But I don't want to drop it yet because I don't want to get interrupted. So I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it right here. You know what I mean? Major Key Boxing in the building. Let's ring the Ali bell. And my main man Charlo. You know I got much love for my brother Charlo. Let's ring the Ali bell for Charlo as well. Eddie Val, Jeff Lucietta, Dragon Leg. What's going on, fam? Listen, I'm going against the grain. I'm the only one in America. Listen, if you ask anybody in the YouTube boxing community, all of the YouTube boxing community is going with Canelo Alvarez, right? So I'm the only one that I know of is betting on Billy Joe. Again, I'm betting $100. I might bet two because if you 100 will bring you back 450, right? If you bet on Canelo Alvarez, you ain't gonna make no money betting on Canelo. Canelo is a minus 700 underdog. I mean, is a minus 700 favorite. What does that mean, guys? If you bet 700, you got to bet $700 in order to make $100 with Canelo. So what's the fun in that? I'd rather bet $100 or $200 on Billy Joe if I bet 200, and if he mess around and pull it off somehow, you know what I mean? Then hell, I get $900 off a $700 profit. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I'm going at. So now let's go ahead and do this. Billy Joe Saunders has excellent footwork. Canelo Alvarez. No, we're gonna do Billy Joe first, and then we're gonna go to Canelo. Billy Joe Saunders has excellent footwork. I don't care if you like Billy Joe or not. You cannot deny this man can box. And you cannot deny that he doesn't have good footwork. He has damn good footwork. Billy Joe Saunders. Right. He has deceptive hand speed. I looked at quite a few of his fights. He has very deceptive hand speed. Now, some can argue and say, well, he hasn't fought no competition like Canelo. Canelo has fought people like a Billy Joe Saunders before. You can make an argument for that. But I'm not here to argue that. I'm not here to argue that. Shout out to my main man, Bernardi. Bernardi, what's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? Ring the Ali bell. Ring the Ali bell for my main man, Bernardi. You see what I'm saying? Bernardi say Canelo all the way. Yes, I know. Canelo all the way. Everybody's saying that, right? I'm still going with Billy Joe. I'm the only one that's going to go against the grain. 100, I got 100. I'm thinking about 200. Because I only bet what I can stand to lose. So I can stand to lose about a hundred, about 200. You see, that's what we say. That's what we say in Florida. You know, we call $100 hundun. You got $100 on it. You know what I mean? Slang for 100. So I'm gonna put about $100 on Billy Joe. I'll probably put 200. That's about as far as I go. That's about as far as I'll go with any fighter. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a gambler, but I'm gonna take a chance on Billy Joe. And if I lose, it's something I can stand to lose. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But anyway, Halim, what do you say? He say even if he does Mike Tyson special, bite his ear off, Billy Joe Saunders all the way. Yeah, he's, you know what I mean? And I get that. You know, Halim has a real close relationship with that camp. So I expect Halim to root for Billy Joe. I expect him to say that. You know what I mean? So if you say anything other than that, Halim, I will be surprised. You better say you going with Billy Joe. Yeah, unfortunately, all over on YouTube. Yeah, anyway, so, but what I'm saying is, guys, so Billy Joe Saunders has excellent footwork. He has deceptive hand speed. He's very elusive. He is an elusive fighter, right? He can stand in front of you, and when you swing, you know, he won't be there anymore, right? He can fight on the front foot, and he can fight on the back foot, right? That's what I look at. He has great hand-eye coordination. If you don't know about the sport of boxing, if you're a trainer or something like that, you know what hand-eye coordination is, right? You know what I mean? You understand that, meaning that he has good eyes in the ring. You want a fighter that has a good pair of eyes in the ring. Because he has to be able to see the slightest movement from the fighter to be able to from his opponent to be able to anticipate what's coming. So he'll know what to do, how to move out of the way. You know, the really good fighters, they don't even have to think. You know, their muscle memory, they just perform off of instinct. You see what I'm saying? They just react. It's kind of like Neo in the Matrix. Once you know that you are the one, you do things very effortlessly. The greats, and there was very few greats in boxing, the greats understand what I'm saying. You know, if you study like a lot of the great fighters, they do things that the average fighter can't do, and they make it look effortlessly. So Billy Joe Saunders have a great pair of eyes in the ring. He see the ring very well. You see, he has great hand-eye coordination. So he has an underrated defense. He really does. And I'm gonna break that down later. He does have heart, and he has a high boxing IQ. These are all the tangibles that I wrote down on my pad, right? He knows how to pick his shots. He don't waste punches. When Billy Joe throws a punch, 9 times out of 10, it's going to hit its mark. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't waste punches. He has very good punch placement, right? So let's see. He has pretty good stamina in the ring. He doesn't really gas out. Some people may say he gassed out of some fights. He gassed out against the Martin Murray fight. I don't think so. I think that he knew that he was so far ahead in the match that he kind of just like slowed down. You see what I'm saying? But every fighter gets tired. I mean, I don't know one fighter that can fight 12 rounds the same way they fought the first round. It doesn't happen unless you're like a Marcos McDonald or a Sean Porter. But what happens is when you constantly pushing yourself like that, and you just come and swinging like a Sean Porter or Marcus McDonald, and you using good footwork and stuff. What happens is when you're fighting a real good fighter, you leave yourself open. For counter punches and stuff like that. When you are an overly aggressive fighter. So if you're an overly aggressive fighter and you're trying to overwhelm your opponent, that'll work on a basic, not a basic fighter, but that'll work on some fighters or maybe even a lot of fighters. But when you do that to a fighter who keeps his composure, he doesn't panic, and he knows how to think his way out of situations. He has great eyes. He has really fluid hips. Billy Joe Saunders has fluid hips. He knows how to move. If you understand the sport of boxing, you study boxing, you know what I mean when I say a boxer has fluid hips. I boxed for 5 years when I was a kid, and I'm telling you, man, I got my ass whooped by a good friend of mine, a Puerto Rican guy, and he beat the brace off me, like literally, like that was my last time in the ring. Just amateurs, but he beat the brace off me. For every 2 times I hit him, he hit me 5-6 times. I got so goddamn mad. I pulled a Clubber Lang on his ass and grabbed him like Clubber Lang did on Rocky 3, threw his ass in the corner and said, man, where your ass going at? Threw him in the corner with the wailing on his ass. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I lost, but I won that particular battle right there. You see what I'm saying? So let's see. Billy Joe Saunders has good leverage when he throws punches. He has good leverage. And you got to have good hips and be able to do that. You got to have the good hips. You got to have proper foot placement. You see what I'm saying? He does do that. You see what I'm saying? Billy Joe, now, this is what the critics are saying. Critics, and we all have critics. This is what the critics are saying. The critics are saying that they're not giving him a shot, right? But I'm going to say why. The critics are saying that Billy Joe Saunders is really not that impressive. He has a boring style of boxing, right? I don't agree with that. The art of boxing is to hit and not get hit. It's to hit and not get hit. You know what I mean? So he's not going to sit there and slug it out with you. They say that Billy Joe Saunders hasn't fought anybody. They say that Billy Joe Saunders is overrated and he would get exposed when he fights Canelo. Also, a knock on Billy Joe Saunders that I agree with is one of those things I do agree with is that he has not been active enough. He's not a very active fighter. That is true. You see what I'm saying? Why? I don't know. And they say that he has a weak resume. Right. So Billy Joe Saunders was a WBO middleweight champion from 2015 to 2018. In 2019, he became the super middleweight WBO champion. We know this, right? Now, this is what they're saying. Coach Askin, what's going on, man? I'm gonna drop the chat in there. I dropped the link in there for Coach Askin, man. If you want to join, brother, go ahead and join. I dropped the link right there so you can join. So right now, Coach Askin, if you just jumping in, I dropped the link on there so you can come in. It's right there. The link is here. And let's talk about Billy Joe. But let me go ahead and talk about Canelo now. You know what I mean? So we know that no one is giving Billy Joe a shot and stuff such and such like that. That's fine. That's cool and that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. Bet which who you think is going to win. If you feel like Canelo is the better boxer, the better fighter, and he's the best thing that ever put on a pair of gloves, there's nothing wrong with you feeling that way. There's nothing wrong with you feeling that way. And if you love Billy Joe Saunders and you think Billy Joe Saunders is one of the baddest mofos around this town, and he's going to pull out the upset of the year against Canelo Alvarez, there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. You see what I'm saying? That's what makes it so beautiful. When you have two gladiators that's willing to get in the ring with each other, somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. And us as fight fans, we just want to see the fight. At least we are getting the fight. That's what I'm happy about. At least we are getting the fight. One time for my brother, Coach Alex, in the building, MTK Global's finest. He's one of the baddest mofos around this town. Like Show Enough, I got to get me a Show Enough a sound effect. You know what I mean? Is he the meanest? Show Enough. Is he the baddest? Show Enough. Is he the prettiest mofo around this town? Show Enough. Who is I? Coach Askey, Team Saunders. Who am I? Coach Askey, I can't hear you. Coach Askey, yeah. The Shogun of the UK. Let's ring the Ali bell and give him a round of applause for my brother from across the pond, Coach Askey. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that, y'all.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man, everything going good. Everything going good, Coach. I'm just I want to talk about Billy Joe Saunders, man. I'm looking at a lot of his tangibles. I've this morning I was watching a lot of video footage of Billy Joe Saunders. I hear the criticism. I ain't worried about the criticism. I said, let me just look and let me look and see. Let me tell you something, man. I mean, I was very, very impressed with what I saw, from the footwork to the proper punch placement to the hand-eye coordination, how fluid he is with his hips, how elusive he is defensively, how he can sit in front of you, right, and make you think that you have a target, right? But then by the time you throw that punch, he's out of the way. You know what I mean? And listen, and I'm gonna tell you something else. What I notice is he can fight on the inside if you have to. He can fight front foot dominant and he can fight off the back foot. You see what I'm saying? So and he has deceptive hand speed. So now I say all that to say this, because I'm looking at a lot of Canelo Alvarez's intangibles, and I see a lot of similarities between him and Billy Joe. When a lot of people who talk about Canelo Alvarez is going to beat Billy Joe Saunders, I'm like, dude, if you I studied the sport of boxing, and I'm not saying I know as much as you do, because I don't. Whatever I don't know, I know how to talk to other people who know more than me, and they'll educate me and put me up on things. But when you just look at the intangibles, I see a lot of similarities. I really do. I see a lot of similarities. I think Canelo is a little bit more flat-footed, and Billy Joe can fight either way. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be an interesting match, man. But I'm betting money on Billy Joe Saunders, man. You know, he's an underdog, so I'm betting on him. That's what I have to say.
Can I just say, okay, let's talk about the critics. The critics have an absolute right to brag that their boy is half-pound king, that their boy is the man, yeah?
Right.
No dispute there. Now, everyone's going to say he fought to Mayweather when he was young. Well, let's just pause there. Canelo fought an old retired Mayweather that came out of retirement and whooped his ass. That's irrelevant. Now, my concern, this is what Billy Joe Saunders says. Providing it's a fair fight, he'll beat him. Okay? Now, let's go back to Trout, who should have won. It was a 50-50, but the corrupt judges, one had it 118, 110. Let's go down to the Lara fight, which was 117, 111. Right. Let's go down to the Triple G, which was 118, 110. The Mayweathers, which was disgusting. One judge had it a draw. Now, a lot of people say since then, Canelo's got a lot better since he fought Mayweather. Well, okay, let's go back. When he fought a washed-up Khan was schooling him until he walked into a punch. We know his punch resistance ain't there. Got clipped. Okay, he beat a has-been Khan. He fought a has-been Jacobs, who he struggled with. Jacobs was shown a bit of shade of greatness,
Yeah.
We're not talking about a Pete Jacob. But let's talk about Lara, who we all know, in my opinion, Lara won. They can say whatever they're saying. Now, we can argue about Lara. We can argue about Triple G's first fight. We can argue about the second fight. But that's irrelevant. Right now, top of the tree is Canelo. So
Right.
come May the 8th, when the time is proofs in the pudding, it's showtime. When Billy Joe Saunders dethrones Canelo, I don't want to hear no more talk. You've got the evidence there. Proofs in the pudding is who the last man standing. May the best man win. I see Canelo struggling with someone like Billy Joe Saunders. As you said, he's flat-footed, which I believe. Now, you can see boxers that choose to be in and out, in and out. But listen, like Billy Joe Saunders said, let's not worry about how Canelo fights. Canelo needs to worry what Billy Joe's bringing to the table. Because I don't think Billy Joe Saunders is working on how to fight Canelo. He's working on how to fight Billy Joe style, how he fights and bringing his game to the table. Let Canelo adjust to it.
Right,
now,
right. So
everybody says, yes, Canelo has immense power, which he probably does. But he's fought against boxers that came up a weight. He's come down a weight from, like the light heavies. He's come down to make super middle. Whereas Billy Joe Saunders is known to be heavy and strong or whatever and comes down a weight. So I'm sure he'll be able to sit on a few of his shots. Personally, I like to see him box and make it easy. But I don't blame the Canelo casuals for saying he's the man. I don't blame them. And those that say Billy Joe Saunders, he's not really had good tests. Well, this is the whole argument. They didn't want to face Billy Joe. Billy Joe's called out Canelo. He's called out Triple G. He's agreed to fight Andre. For whatever reasons, things ain't happened. But now it's happening. So we can all say this, that, the other, should have, could have, whatever. Proofs in the pudding. May the 8th, you're going to see the best of Billy Joe Saunders, who I must say, I have never seen him in this phenomenal shape, mentally, physically. Hats off to Mark Tibbs, who's doing a phenomenal job. And the team, Tom, Greg, the whole lot of them, the MTK lot, they're doing a fantastic job. And I'm sure Canelo's doing his best. So it's going to be a fantastic fight. And I've been waiting for this for a long time. And I'm sure the American fans, the Mexican fans, there's a lot of mind games, a lot of political games, but I see relevant. At the end of the day, both of them are in the ring and may the best man win.
Yes, sir. I'm glad you made that point because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. I hardly never bet against Canelo Alvarez, but I just no, and no one has convinced me to bet on Billy Joe Saunders. I watched it myself, and I'm saying, man, you know what? I looked at the Lauren fight, I looked at the Trout fight, and I'm like, man, you know what, man? And in my opinion, I think Billy Joe Saunders has a lot of those tangibles, or maybe just as better, maybe just as good as those fighters, or better. I think he's better, especially right now. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but it's just my opinion. All I want to see is this: if he show up to fight, and I believe Billy Joe will show up to fight. Don't just get there like Yildirim. I'm looking at my pad. Yildirim, just fold up. Don't be like Caleb Smith, just ball up and let him punch on you. I don't see Billy Joe Saunders doing that. If he comes to fight, and then I'm like, listen, dude, if this dude show up to fight, like I know he can fight, this is going to be very interesting. You see what I'm saying? And it's not going to be a walk in the park. Now, I know what people are saying. I know Canelo is a very strong fighter. He's a really good body puncher. And I'm pretty sure Billy Joe has done his homework. He understands what Canelo likes to do. We know he likes to throw his hand like this here in the air and then hit you with another punch. I'm pretty sure Billy Joe knows all of that. And he can do that with, he didn't do that with Triple G, but he can do that with those lesser caliber fighters the way he just do whatever he wants to do with them. I'm saying I think a lot of people don't know about Billy Joe Saunders. That's what it is. And they know more about Canelo. They really haven't. A lot of these people who are betting on Canelo, they probably haven't even seen 3 Billy Joe Saunders fights in their life. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
Sorry. Billy Joe Saunders, he's like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him, yeah? Now, right. Maybe if the world's going to see and know who Billy Joe Saunders is, those that are involved in boxing know about him. You see Mayweather talking about him. You see Broner talking about him. Canelo acknowledges him. Triple G acknowledges him. These guys know about Billy Joe. He's the guy they've all avoided because he's high risk, small reward. Now, what I'm saying is, now look at Canelo's last fight with Smith. Smith had already been beaten. He should have lost to Ryder. We all know Ryder beat him. So we know that Smith was struggling. So it was it his final payday? We don't know. So he's not beaten nobody. In his last few fights, he has not shown me anything spectacular. All he's shown to me that he's a global, like we said, he was the franchise champion. But I'm still giving Canelo that credibility because he's a proven king. You don't go from weight to weight to weight, winning titles after titles after titles. There's something about you. Now, a lot of people are going to doubt Billy Joe because of these excuses they're making. Who has he fought? Inactivity, so-and-so and so-and-so.
Right.
But you don't see Billy Joe Saunders running from this fight. Remember, it's Billy Joe that wants this fight, not Canelo. Billy Joe's ready. This is his time to show the world what he's about. I've seen what he's about. And I understand everybody's frustration. I understand everybody's criticism. But like I said, do not be shocked, because I won't be shocked maybe when he dethrones him. We had the same scenario when Tyson fought Klitschko. Tyson went to the Lion's Den. Everybody thought Tyson had no chance against Klitschko. But you see what he did in Dusseldorf, Germany. He dethroned him. You see when he went to Wilder, I told everybody, it's no shock to me. This is going to happen. I believe he's tailor-made for Billy Joe to look good. The tougher the opposition, the better Billy Joe Saunders is. And I genuinely believe, and I'm not just saying this, he absolutely stops Canelo. He stops him. Don't be surprised if he refuses to come out of that corner. He won't knock him down. No, he won't knock him out. But it will give him such a lesson that Canelo will sit on that stool and not come out.
Hey, now, Coach Asgay, I'm gonna be honest with you now.
I know. Listen, a lot of people don't have to accept it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you.
But
I don't think Billy Joe's gonna stop Canelo.
Okay, stop. Let me explain to you. If I said to you, in this drawer there's £1 million, and you looked in that drawer and there's £1 million, then I said, right, go in my car boot, there's another £1 million. You go look in the car boot, there's another £1 million there. So if I say to you, well, check in my coat pocket, there's another £1 million in there, you're going to believe me, right?
Right. If I see it, yeah.
The proof's in the pudding. I've told you so many times. Well,
right.
I told you about Tyson Fury, Klitschko. I told everybody about Tyson Fury, Wilder. I told everybody about Lopez beating Lomachenko. I told everyone about Joyce beating Daniel Dubois. I've told so many people after time. Styles make fights. Not every, apart from Floyd Mayweather, who really is unbeatable.
Right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But
now I'm saying this. I'm saying you can hit Canelo with a baseball bat. He ain't going nowhere. But you can outbox him. He's shown that he's easy to hit. You've seen his head rocked back so many times. You've seen all the boxers rocking him. But the thing with Canelo, he's very, very patient. He doesn't break form. He'll wait for the 12th round of the last 10 seconds to catch that punch. If that's what he waits for, he will wait. So Billy Joe's got to be on point from round 1 to round 12 to the final bell. And I believe he'll be disciplined to do that. I've never seen Billy Joe Saunders in this right state of mind. I've never seen him looking so great, confident. Everything's just going brilliant. Camp's done now. It's all entertainment now. Cooling off, sharpening up, ready for the fight.
But let me ask you a question. What made you feel like that Billy Joe Saunders would stop Canelo, meaning that Canelo won't come out of the corner? Like what make you feel that way?
Simply because of humiliation. Because once there's always been with the way Mayweather embarrassed him. Now, Floyd Mayweather was coming up a weight, whereas Billy Joe Saunders will be coming down a weight, hitting a lot harder. The thing with Billy Joe Saunders is a lot faster, and he's got a very unique, skill set. And I believe with the embarrassment, with the humiliation, with with Canelo thinking, you know what, he'll just go mind. I believe mentally he'll break. I genuinely believe this.
Okay, so all right, so you're just saying that Billy Joe Saunders is really going to put on a boxing clinic so special that night that Canelo is going to get so frustrated that he's not going to come out of the corner.
Absolutely. And what I'm saying is he has to be 100% perfect to beat Canelo. He just has to be Billy Joe Saunders. That's all he has to do. A fit Billy Joe Saunders beats Canelo all day. And I'm saying this, and it's no disrespect to Canelo. Canelo has never faced someone as unique as Billy Joe Saunders. His style, the way, like you said, he can fight on the front foot, the back foot, and he throws in such volumes at so different awkward angles. And like you said, he can make you think he's in one position, but he's in the other, hitting from there to there to there. And that's just my opinion.
Okay.
Everyone's gonna have their opinion. Now, I'm just saying is I agree with all you critics. I agree with that he's pound for pound, whatever, pound for pound king. But come May the 8th, I don't want to hear nothing else. I told you all, proofs in the pudding, and you'll see. You will still see. You will hear the words, and still undefeated. Billy Joe Saunders. He's already world champion. It's not about the belts. It's not about the money. This is about fighting pride. And
so let me ask you a question. Would you? I know you're busy, but would you be willing to come back onto the show after the fight on Monday?
Absolutely.
Okay,
you've got my word. You've got my word.
All right, guys. So Coach Asger did say he's going to come back on the show. Now, I did cover all of the tangibles of Billy Joe Saunders, and I did cover what the critics are saying. What I want to do, guys, is cover what. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying this. I don't agree with Coach Asger that Canelo Alvarez will be stopped by Billy Joe Saunders. I don't agree with that at all. I'm betting that.
Sorry, I forgot to say.
Go ahead.
Mayweather, the highest grossing pay-per-view boxing celebrity out there, was given a draw. So you know there's corruption in there. Yeah? If they can do this to Floyd Mayweather, the judge is already in their pocket for this fight. We know this. The only option he's got is to give him a boxing lesson. And because of the boxing lesson that he's going to get, and he will get it, out of humiliation, he will refuse to come back out. I think he'll have a breakdown in the ring.
Yeah. I think Canelo Alvarez is a mentally tough fighter. That's why I disagree with you on. I'm picking Billy Joe Saunders because no one else is picking him. I'm being honest with you. No one is picking him. I'm looking at the odds. I said, okay, if I bet $100 on Billy Joe, I'm gonna bet $200. Now that I think about it, if I lose, it's $200. Is something I can stand to lose. I think Billy Joe has to win.
Saunders is bringing this home.
Okay, all right, okay, guys. So listen, so you hear it. We have it on the record. A shout out to my brother. Let's ring the Ali bell for Mr. Shelton Moore and H Money in the building. H Money in the building. Hey, if you guys want to join Shelton and H Money, please come on.
Brother Williams, I've got to shoot because it's time to open my fast.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Listen, this is Ramadan. Salute to all of the Muslims out there around the world that's practicing Ramadan. Coach Asger has to go because of Ramadan. So, brother, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time out, okay? I'm going to see you after the fight now. You promise me you're going to be back on the show.
I promise you, my man. I promise you.
Okay. All right. Much love, brother. Salam alaikum.
Thank you. Salam.
All right, everybody. That's the legendary Coach Asger. You know what I mean? He represents his team MTK Global. He's worked with Tyson Fury. He's worked with Billy Joe Saunders, and we have my brother, who we have H Money in the building. Hey, let's go ahead, man, and put the Ali bell for H Money and give my main man a round of applause, Mr. H Money in the building. If you haven't heard of H Money, please go to his channel, please subscribe, and follow my main man. This my guy here. Hey, a matter of fact, shut this damn audience up. Anyways, I have a list right here, guys, of all the channels that I rock with. I know you can't see it. But as you can see, I have Shadow Ghost 81 on here, Punch Drunk Boxing, my main man, Bruce Vane, Irish Boxing Bros, Pound for Pound Boxing Real News, Rap Star Boxing, Blood Boxing, H Money Boxing, Retro Boxing and Documentaries, Bushido Boxing, IBFP Boxing, and Major Key Boxing. These are the channels that I rock with, and it's a couple of other ones, but they are more bigger platforms. So I'm not gonna talk about the big ones no more because they already big and established. So we ain't no need to blowing them up. We're gonna talk about some of these other channels that I rock with. But other than that, that's it. H Money, let me shut my big ass mouth and go ahead and let you talk, brother. Whatever you got to say, go ahead and say it.
Yo, what's good, Coach Malachi? Thanks for having me once again. Just want to tip my hat off to you, man. Another great interview with Coach Asger, man. I respect Coach Asger. You know, he was a part of Team Tyson Fury. I believe he got a big relationship with Ben Davison, Tyson Fury's former trainer. Shout outs to Coach Asger coming to the platform. I think he's a great coach. Tyson Fury, obviously, I got him number one on my heavyweight rankings because when you look at Tyson Fury, He beat the number one heavyweights twice. Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder when Wilder was the number one heavyweight in the world. And Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko when Klitschko was a champion for 11 straight years. So Tyson Fury beat the top guys in the weight class. And, man, it was a great interview, bro. You know what I mean? I just got to show my respect to you. You know, I'm a Tyson Fury fan. And you had one of his former coaches, Coach Asgi, right here, man. And it was some great content. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. That's all. I appreciate you.
Yeah. I mean, I really appreciate you, man, rocking with me, man. Like Ace Money, guys, let me tell you something. Like when I first, Ace Money, really, like he really, man, like helped me out. Just, tell a lot of his subscribers to come subscribe. Quite a few people who will subscribe to Ace Money have subscribed to my channel. I know I can be, I'm a high energy guy, guys. So sometimes I get off the rocker sometimes. Just please forgive me. I'm very passionate about what I do. I don't agree with Coach Asgi that Canelo is going to get stopped by Billy Joe. It's highly unlikely that Billy Joe. Let me take that back. It's not highly unlikely that Billy Joe can beat Canelo Alvarez, because when you're on that level, a championship level, anybody can get it. In any given night, you know what I mean? It can happen. I'm just betting on Billy Joe Saunders. I just got a feeling, I could be wrong. I just got a feeling that, hey, man, it's going to go 12 rounds. I think maybe he probably can outbox Canelo. If not, I have no control over if the judges is in the bag for Canelo or not. I don't have any proof of that. I don't know. And I'm not going to say that. That's a possibility that could be, and that's a possibility it may not be. Who knows? You know what I mean? But Billy Joe Saunders needs to focus on fighting Canelo. You can't worry about the referee or the judges or none of that. You need to focus on Canelo, because Canelo is a problem. You see what I'm saying? But Ace Money, I want to talk about Canelo's intangibles, because I didn't say anything about Canelo's intangibles. Now, Canelo, guys, because I got to be fair with my analysis. As Canelo got older, he's gotten better. Canelo is a great body puncher. We know this. He's strong as an ox. We know this. Canelo has great eyes in the ring, similar to Billy Joe Saunders, meaning he has hand-eye coordination. He can sense. He has great instincts. Whatever it is you're trying to do, he can nullify that, and he knows how to impose his will on you. Canelo has he can fight off the front foot or the back foot. We know he's front foot dominant, but he showed in the Triple G fight that when Triple G was backing him up in the first fight, he was able to fight off the back foot as well. He was a little bit more defensive and elusive. He was getting hit with Triple G. He has a granite chin. The boy can take a punch. So this is why I don't agree with Coach Asgi, because as it relates to I'm gonna let Mr. Shelton Moore in the building. Shelton Moore, let me finish my wrap up. We're gonna give Mr. Shelton Moore get Shelton Moore hit him with the Ali bell. Now,
yes, sir.
Canelo has a granite chin. Billy Joe Saunders is not a powerful puncher. So in my opinion, there's nothing that Billy Joe Saunders can do to Canelo Alvarez to even frustrate him or stop him. There's nothing that Billy Joe Saunders can, in my opinion, that's going to bring to the table that Canelo hasn't seen from a Laura or a Trout or even a Floyd Mayweather. I'm not saying that Billy Joe can't frustrate Canelo, but I just don't see it happening to the degree that Coach Asgi is seeing it. And of course, he's biased because he's with MTK Global, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being biased, and he doesn't hide that. That's his honest opinion. And if he would have said anything other than what he said in his interview, I would check him on that, because you're supposed to say that. Billy Joe is your guy. Me, I don't have a dog in the fight. So, but anyways, Canelo can fight off the front foot or the back foot. Canelo has great upper body movement and defense. We've seen this. People try to hit Canelo. He slightly slips a punch. He slightly, I saw the Daniel Jacobs fight this morning again. Man, Daniel Jacobs was headhunting. He was trying to hit Canelo. He was throwing like 4 or 5 jabs in a row, and Canelo was slipping all of that stuff. If Jacobs would have focused on Canelo's body, he probably would have been a lot more successful. The only problem with that is the reason why a lot of guys don't like to focus on Canelo's body is because they're going to have to get close. And they're afraid that if they get on the inside, that's more leaning towards Canelo's strength. And when you try to go to his body, you open yourself up for a counter. And this is why a lot of guys, they don't want to try to dig to Canelo's body, because he's just that good from that aspect. Canelo has deceptive hand speed, and he has great timing. He doesn't waste punches. When Canelo throws a punch, 10 times out of 10, it's going to hit his mark. Of course, 9 times out of 10, but you get what I'm saying. Canelo has a high boxing IQ. He has heart. That's why I don't believe he's going to quit. He's a great inside fighter. You see what I'm saying? He picks his shots very well. What I meant by that was when he throw a punch, he's going to hit the target 9 times out of 10. He capitalizes off of his opponent's mistakes instantly. Not like, listen, if you make one goddamn mistake against Canelo, that could be good night, Irene. You see what I'm saying? He can stop you or drop you. Maybe not knock you out, but he can drop you. You know what I mean? He has fluid hips, upper body movement. Canelo has fluid hips. He throws punches with great leverage. When he throws his punch, you see what I'm saying? He has a good, strong base. This is Canelo. And that's pretty much it. And I already said that, Canelo has a great ring IQ. Now, Canelo has been doing interviews for this fight, but Billy Joe Saunders hasn't been doing any interviews. And honestly, it kind of seemed like he's in his feelings, with Eddie Hearns and stuff like that. But boxing cares nothing about your feelings. So why Billy Joe hasn't been on the promotional tour of this doing interviews like Canelo has, I have no idea. But that's neither here nor there. May 8th, we're going to see what's going to happen. And other than that, I digress. Let my big brother, Mr. Shelton Moore, ring the Ali bell for him again, and let him come on in and.
How you doing, Coach? How's the day going? You on mute?
Sorry about that. I went on mute so you could talk. Yeah, I'm doing real good.
Yeah.
Real good.
All right. Yeah, he's supposed to say that. He's trying to get this fight sold. He's hoping that he can talk it up, and maybe some people who weren't going to purchase the fight will purchase it, because we pretty much know how this fight's going to end. You know what I'm saying? Billy Joe's a great boxer. Billy Joe is elusive. He got a little bit of pop, but beating up on David Lemieux does not tell me that he's going to stop Canelo. I mean, that's probably one of the best fighters on his resume was David Lemieux. So all of this stuff he's saying, he's supposed to say that. I'm not mad at him for saying that. He's supposed to say that. That's his guy. But, hopefully he can talk enough that more people will purchase the fight. But we pretty much know how this fight's going to end. I mean, only reason I'm purchasing it because I'm missing out on the areola thing. The areola thing, yeah. I'm not buying that, so I'll buy Canelo. At least I get to see one good fighter. Billy Joe's a great boxer, though. I just don't think this thing's gonna go past 8. I really don't.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I honestly, I think it's gonna go 12. I'm gonna tell you why I think it's gonna go 12. I think Billy Joe is elusive enough. He has enough veteran craftsmanship to avoid Canelo. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if it came to that, you know what I mean. I think that I don't think he's going to do what the guy named I don't think he's going to do what Callum Smith did, just sit on the ropes and ball up like this. I don't think he's going to do that. That'd be suicide against Canelo. So this is what I'm doing. Shelton, I'm looking at. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm looking at Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders, and let me pull it up on the screen. Their last 10 fights, right? Their last 10 fights, and I'm gonna put it up so everybody can see it. The last 10 fights is this. Billy Joe Saunders fought Chris Eubank Jr. He won in a split decision. He fought Yohan Blower. He won by TKO. He fought Andy Lee. He won by a majority decision. He fought Arthur Alkovov. He won a unanimous decision. He fought William Monroe. These are the last 10 fights, Ms. Shelton. He fought William Monroe, unanimous decision. He fought David Lemieux, the guy who you're talking about. He fought David Lemieux. That was a unanimous decision. He fought Charles Adamo or whatever. That was the guy retired on the stool. He fought some guy named Shifat Isufi. I never heard of the guy. Unanimous decision. I'm not gonna lie, I never heard of the guy. He fought Marcelo Escobar by KO, and he fought Martin Murray. I seen the Martin Murray fight, right? And then I look at Canelo Alvarez's last 10 fights. He fought Amir Khan. He fought Liam Smith. He fought Chavez Jr. He fought Gennady Golovkin twice, which to me was his most impressive thus far. He fought Rocky Fielding. He fought Daniel Jacobs. He fought Sergey Kovalev. So I'm going to say Kovalev was old, but he fought Sergey Kovalev. He fought Callum Smith. And then we know he fought the turkey from Turkey named Yildirim. So we know that. So now he's going to fight Canelo. Now he's going to fight Billy Joe Saunders. And when I look at Canelo Alvarez's resume, I'm not going to lie. The first 32 fights, Shelton, he didn't fight nobody. But he had him in Mexico. He had those fights in Mexico. So let me show you this. I got to show you this. But I'm gonna tell you what jumped out at me. Canelo is 30 years old, right? He's 30 years old, guys. He's 30 years old. So I gotta give just due. I gave Billy Joe Saunders props. And so now I gotta give props to Canelo Alvarez. I have to be fair. I have to give it both ways. You see what I'm saying? Let's do this. Canelo Alvarez, as you can see, guys, on the screen, his first 30. And let me do this, make it bigger so everybody can see. His first 32 fights were in Mexico. So we can't count those. Well, we gotta count them, but you gotta look at how young he was when he had these fights. He's only 30 years old and he has 55 professional fights. He lost one and he has 2 draws. He has 55 professional fights and he's 30. So let's keep that in consideration, right? His 33rd fight, he fought Jose Cotto, which is Miguel Cotto's brother, right? He fought some guy named Luciano, Carlos Boldemir, Lovemore. We're going to skip all these guys. Now, we're going to get all the way up to his 41st fight. His 41st fight, he fought Sugar Shane Mosley. Now, yeah, Sugar Shane Mosley was in the sport by 18, 19 years. He was past his prime, but he got that name on his resume. Then he fought Josecito Lopez after that. Then he fought Austin Trout. Then he fought Floyd Mayweather. Then he fought Alfredo Angulo. Then he fought Lara. Then he fought James Kirkland. Then he fought Miguel Cotto. Then he fought Amir Khan. Then he fought Liam Smith. Then he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Then he fought Gennady Golovkin twice. Then he fought Rocky Fielding, which is nobody. Then he fought Daniel Jacobs. He fought Sergey Kovalev. He fought Caleb Smith. And he fought Yildirim. Listen, if you look at his resume from his last 26 fights, it's impressive. His resume is impressive, and he's only 30 years old. That's the scary part about it. How in the hell is he fighting these monsters on this level at 30 years old? He's only 30 years old. I think Canelo be 31 this year. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, Carlos Boldemir was official. You're right about that. Carlos Boldemir was official. But you get what I'm saying, guys. His 41st fight, May 2012. So let's look at this. Canelo is 30 years old, right? 30 years old. He's 30 years old. 2012 was 9 years ago, right? So he was what he fought Floyd Mayweather, he was 23. He fought Floyd Mayweather, he was 23, right? He fought Floyd Mayweather in 2013. He fought Shane Mosley in 2012. So he was 22. He was 22 years old when he fought Shane Mosley. At 22 years old, he fought Shane Mosley. At 22 years old, he fought Josecito Lopez. At 22 years old, probably 23 years old, he fought Austin Trout. At 23, he fought Floyd Mayweather. At 24, he fought Alfredo Angulo. At 24, he fought Lara. At 25, he fought James Kirkland. At 25, he fought Miguel Cotto. At 26, he fought Amir Khan. At 26, he fought Liam Smith. At 27, he fought Julio Cesar Chavez. At 27, he fought Gennady Golovkin. And at 28, he fought Gennady Golovkin again in the second fight. At 28, he fought Rocky Fielding. At 29, he fought Daniel Jacobs. At 29, he fought Sergey Kovalev. At 30, he fought Caleb Smith. No, at 29, he fought Caleb Smith. At 30, he fought Yildirim. No, he fought 29, he fought Caleb Smith. At 30, he fought Yildirim. And he's on his way to be 31 years old. God, you got to say, I'm not going to lie, dog. I'm not capping. You got to say, man, that's a hell of a goddamn resume, bro. That's a hell of a resume. And he's only 30 years old. Now, resume is not going to win this fight. Resume is not going to win this fight between Billy Joe Saunders and let me remove that. Resume is not going to win this fight, guys, between Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez. So at the end of the day, the hungriest dog is going to get the steak. But I gave Billy Joe Saunders his due in the beginning of this podcast, right? Now I gotta be fair in my analysis. Now, based on that right there, a lot of people who bet on Canelo does have a valid point. I can't sit here and say that you guys are fanboys or you guys don't like Billy Joe Saunders. No, I can't say that. For me to say that, I would be lying. When I look at this man's resume, you see what I'm saying? It's highly impressive. There's no one in boxing right now that I know of that has a better resume than Canelo Alvarez. Now, we can look at the weight divisions. Jamal Charlo doesn't have a resume like Canelo Alvarez. He doesn't. And I'm not knocking Jamal Charlo. Tyson Fury, he's a heavyweight. He doesn't have a resume nowhere near what Canelo Alvarez has. But Tyson Fury has beat Deontay Wilder. He has beat Vladimir Klitschko. That's it, right? But I'm saying Canelo has consistently had tough fights. You know what I mean? Now, when I look at Billy Joe Saunders' resume, his resume is very similar to Tyson Fury's, right? But again, and this is not the bag on Billy Joe Saunders, because Billy Joe Saunders have been trying to fight the Daniel Jacobs. He did try to fight the Gennady Golovkins. He did try to fight Canelo in the past, I think when it was at 160. But unfortunately for him, he was not able to land those big fights, i.e. this is why he jumped ship and went to Matchroom with Eddie Hearn. And since he got with Eddie Hearn, now he has a big fight coming up with Canelo Alvarez. So guys, when you talk about that you want, sorry about that, Imperial Kingdom. Thank you, sir, for straightening me. Manny Pacquiao is the only one with a resume that's better than Canelo. I agree with that. I forgot all about Manny Pacquiao. The reason why I forgot about Manny Pacquiao because he hasn't fought in 2 years. He's not an active fighter. So I should have prefaced that by saying active fighters. Out of all of the active fighters that are today, thank you so much, brother, for correcting me. Out of all of the active fighters that's boxing today, no one has a better resume than Canelo Alvarez. I don't count Manny Pacquiao as active. He hasn't fought in 2 years. He's a senator in the Philippines. He's one of the greatest boxers of all time. And I know that it's rumored that he's going to fight Mikey Garcia. We can't go by rumors because we see how we've been led down the wheelbarrow with rumors with the Tyson Fury stuff. But thank you so much for correcting me on that, brother. You're right about that. Outside of Manny Pacquiao, Coach. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. You pulled up Billy Joe's last 10 fights, right?
Right, yes, sir. I can show it. I can show you. Yeah.
No. You pulled it up. I got you. You pulled it up.
He only had 30 fights. So.
I'm going to ask you with your honest boxing opinion. Which one of those guys goes more than 8 rounds with Canelo?
Which one of those guys go what? Oh, you talking about on Billy Joe Saunders' resume?
Yeah, which one of those last 10 guys goes more than 8 rounds with Canelo Alvarez?
I would say I would say the only one I would give a chance to go more than 8 rounds is David Lemieux. I say maybe David Lemieux.
Coach, you don't believe that. Coach, you don't believe that. He's too easy to hit. He's too easy to hit.
No. But hear me out, though. Hear me out. I'm not saying he's not going to get stopped. I'm saying what about Chris Eubank Jr.? Because he fought Chris Eubank Jr. as well. What do you think about Chris Eubank?
He's too easy to hit, Coach.
I understand that, but if
my point is this. This is my point. Let me get my point so you can understand where I'm coming from. Canelo Alvarez is a volume, body and head. He's a combination puncher. He goes to the body and the head.
Correct.
To hit Canelo Alvarez, because to beat Canelo for Eubank and for Lemieux, they got to hit him.
Right.
To hit Canelo Alvarez, you got to get close.
Right. You got to get close. Right.
Neither one of those guys are faster than Canelo Alvarez.
Right. But what I'm saying,
you get close, you're going to get countered, and you're going to get knocked out.
Right. But what you asked me was which one of these guys would go at least 8 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. And this is why I'm saying that one of these guys will go that way, because I'm going to tell you why. Callum Smith went 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez, and Callum Smith was very easy to be hit. Very easy.
Well, Callum Smith didn't fight, though. I'm talking about guys that are actually going to compete. Callum Smith went in there. I don't care what nobody says. He went in there and he laid on the ropes for 12 rounds. He went to get a check.
Right. I understand that. But what I'm saying is,
I got to take a call, Coach. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Just come back in. All right, guys. So what I'm saying is this here. You know, when I think of like Chris Eubank Jr., like he's never been stopped, right? If Callum Smith can go 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez, why David Lemieux can't go at least 9 rounds with Canelo Alvarez? Why Chris Eubank Jr. can't go at least 8-9 rounds with Canelo Alvarez? You see what I'm saying? Hell, they could just do the same thing that Callum Smith did. Because that was the question. Which one of these guys, Billy Joe Saunders' last 10 fights, will go the distance with Canelo Alvarez. And I get what he's saying. He's saying Canelo will stop all of them. Okay, let me show you guys something. Because I'm finna prove my point right here. And Mr. Shelton Moore, when you come back in, I got to show you something. Canelo only has, guys, he has 55 wins, 37 knockouts. Now, 37 knockouts, right? So that's 18 fighters that he fought. One was a loss. Well, 19 fighters he fought, right? One was a loss, and 18 he won by decision. And the ones he won by decision were not super high caliber fighters, right? Well, outside of Daniel Jacobs, he's a hell of a fighter. Triple G is a hell of a fighter. You see what I'm saying? But some of these, let's see. I'm looking at his resume right now. Unanimous decision, Austin Trout. You know, Shane Mosley was 40 years old. He couldn't stop Shane Mosley. You know, but Shane Mosley's a tough guy though. You see what I'm saying? But I'm looking at quite a few. He fought Matthew Hatton. If you don't know who Matthew Hatton is, that's Ricky Hatton's brother. Unanimous decision, 12 rounds. He fought a dude named Lovemore in 12-round unanimous decision. So now it's not like Canelo Alvarez is knocking everybody out he steps in the ring with. When he gets in the ring, he has 18 fights that he has went the distance with fighters. You see what I'm saying? So when I say that, I have something that I can back it up with. You know what I mean? Now, it has yet to be determined. Now, will Canelo stop somebody like Shifat Isufi? Of course he will. But I'm giving people like Andy Lee. I'm giving people like Chris Eubank Jr. Hell, I'll even give David Lemieux the benefit of the doubt, because it depends on what style they are going to come with when they step in the ring with Canelo. Who say that these guys will step in the ring and will try to fight Canelo and box him and get on the inside? You know, we're assuming that. What if these guys get in there and they don't do none of that? If they don't do any of that and they don't come to fight like a Callum Smith did, then guess what? They can go more than 8 rounds. That's what I'm saying. So if I hear what Mr. Shelton Moore is saying, my brother Shelton Moore, if these guys were to come in the ring getting ready to fight and try to fight Canelo and take him out, then of course I believe that Canelo will stop these guys or at least drop them or whatever the case may be. But that's assuming that these fighters are going to do that. Hell, if Callum Smith can sit there and get beat up for 12 rounds, hell, old ass Sergey Kovalev is 155 years old. He is past his prime, way past his prime. Everybody in the world know he is past his prime. And he went 11 rounds with Canelo. So shit, you know, why is it impossible to believe that Chris Eubank Jr. can't go more than 8 rounds with Canelo? Why is it impossible to believe that David Lemieux can't go more than 8 rounds with Canelo? You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Canelo can't stop these guys, but guess what? Hell, Caleb Smith went 12 rounds with him. And shit, I'm looking at Canelo Alvarez's resume right now. 18 fighters went the distance with Canelo Alvarez. 18. Not 1, not 2, but 18 went the distance with Canelo. You see what I'm saying? So anything is possible. Now, you can make an argument and say that, hey, the guys who went the distance with Canelo is better competition than what Billy Joe Saunders has. You can make that argument, but that argument can be argued both ways. Because from what I'm looking at on Canelo's resume, this guy named Lovemore Indu, is he better than Andy Lee? I don't think so. Is he better than Chris Eubank Jr.? I don't think so. Is he better than David Lemieux? I don't think so. You see what I'm saying? So, and Sergey Kovalev was old as hell, man. So listen, I personally know Sergey. He wasn't past it. Okay, I understand that. I understand you personally know him, but can you tell me that the Sergey Kovalev who fought Canelo Alvarez, was he the crusher pre Andre Ward fight? He didn't fight the crusher. He fought Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev is not the same fighter he didn't used to be. When he fought Canelo Alvarez, he wasn't the same fighter. Now, this is not the shit on Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is this here. I'm saying Sergey Kovalev, the crusher. And I've been following this guy for a long time. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about Sergey Kovalev, pre-Bernard Hopkins, who beat Bernard Hopkins, the crusher who was stopping everybody, when he was with John David Jackson. That's not the version of Sergey Kovalev that Canelo Alvarez fought. And I'll debate that with anybody. I would debate that with anybody. And then when Canelo fight people, he got to have rehydration clause and all of that stuff there. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying now, I'm just saying, you got to look at all that and take all that into consideration. That's all I'm saying. Bruce Goals, what's going on, fam? Salute to my main man, Bruce Goals. Shout out to my brother, Smith & West in the building. Ring the Ali Bell for Smith & West. Who else we got? Who else we got in the building? What you say, Lover's Lane? You say, I think HBO had a hand in hyping these dudes up, including Triple G. Now, Triple G is a good fighter. Triple G is a good fighter. Stephen Tarr, shout out to my brother Stephen Tarr, man. Ring the Ali for Stephen Tarr. I always said Better B was the better Russian. Yeah, I'm what I'm saying is Sergey Kovalev, when he was the crusher, he was a bad boy. But after the Andre Ward fights, he wasn't the same anymore. And I think just even a casual boxing fan can really see that. After the Sergey, listen, those Andre Ward fights that Sergey Kovalev had, it took something out of him. He wasn't the same fighter anymore. And I've been following Sergey Kovalev for a while, for a long time, because he was one of my favorite fighters. I lost money betting on Sergey Kovalev when he fought Andre Ward the first fight. I still say Sergey Kovalev won that first fight with Andre Ward. I think he should have. The judges should have gave him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? I think it was that close. You know what I mean? I really believe that. But that's neither here nor there. We know that Andre Ward cleared all doubt when he fought Sergey the second fight. He stopped him. You know what I mean? So I will say that. But let's be honest, guys. If we're being honest, you cannot tell me that when Sergey Kovalev fought Canelo Alvarez, he was the crusher. He was not the crusher anymore. This man drinking vodka, all kind of stuff. And his trainer, former trainer John David Jackson, which I do know people in his camp right now who gave me that WBC belt. And I love John David Jackson, man. He's a real nice guy. I'm trying to get him on the show, guys. If I can get John David Jackson on the show, but it's been very difficult. He's right here in Miami with me, and I really want to get him on the show, guys. So I'm gonna just keep trying. That's all I can do. You know what I mean? John David Jackson don't like doing interviews, but understandably so. But listen. Let me tell you something. Canelo Alvarez. If I was him, I would not fight Better Beef or Bivol. And I don't think Canelo Alvarez will fight them. He did right by picking Sergey Kovalev. You know what I mean? Canelo Alvarez is really good at picking and choosing his opponents. He's really good at he's a matchmaker. He match makes very well. You see what I'm saying? So, anytime you step in the ring with a fighter and 9 times out of 10, you are always the favorite when you fight somebody. And you know what I mean? So he matchmakes very well. You know what I mean? So he's a good matchmaker. And I give him that. And this is not to disrespect Canelo Alvarez or take anything from him, because he's one of my favorite fighters, period. You see what I'm saying? At 30 years old, his resume is very goddamn impressive. Yeah, listen, and no one can argue that. At 30 years old, his resume is very impressive. All I'm saying is when he fought Sergey Kovalev, he was not the crusher anymore. He was just Sergey. He was Sergey. He wasn't the crusher anymore. If Canelo would have fought Sergey Kovalev when he was the crusher, he would have got his ass whooped, in my opinion. He would have got his ass whooped. To me. You see what I'm saying? And I love Canelo. But Canelo fought Sergey Kovalev was not the crusher anymore. Right? So I say all that to say this. He has some good names on his resume, but you got to take into consideration, some of these fights he's had. Some people may say that, hey man, it was Lara. He won a split decision against Lara. And so Miguel Cotto was a unanimous decision. Miguel Cotto had been in the ring for a while, but he did his thing, and Gennady Golovkin. I still think Golovkin won that first fight. Second fight, I think that Gennady lost that fight. Daniel Jacobs, he lost a unanimous decision, but Daniel Jacobs, man, was coming at Canelo. He was missing a whole lot of shots, though. He couldn't really hit him. You know what I mean? But let's see. Pound for pound box. What do you say, fam? He said, but wasn't Kovalev a champion when he fought him? Yeah, he was a champion. He was a champion, but he wasn't the same fighter, is what I'm saying. I'm not arguing the fight. What I'm saying is Canelo went up to light heavyweight. He could have fought Bivol. He could have fought Better Beef. He chose Sergey for a reason. Let's just say that. And Sergey just came off a war with what's the fighter from the UK that he had a fight with that he almost lost to, and he ended up stopping him with a jab, guys. Help me out. Let me look over here. I'm finna tell you right now. Finna look at Sergey Kovalev I got to look at his resume so I know. Kovalev just came off a fight with Anthony Yard. He had just came off a fight with Anthony Yard. And check this out. Check this out, guys. He came off a fight with Anthony Yard, which was a war, 11th round war, TKO, in August of 2019. And guess what? He fought Canelo November the 2nd. Canelo wouldn't even let the man rest up and recover from that war that he had a fight with. So we got to take that in consideration too. Sergey Kovalev, yeah, he was still a champion at that time. He had got his belt back. But guess what? He fought a man on 3 months' notice. So take that in consideration. That's all I'm saying. And this is not knocking Canelo Alvarez. What I'm saying is he's very smart when he picks his fights. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, guys. And this is not a knock on, and I don't want any Canelo Alvarez fans jumping down my throat because I'm a Canelo Alvarez fan. But listen, the guy had a war in August 2019. And then you get him back in the ring November the 2nd. Not even 3 months. Not even 3 months. So we're talking about August, September, October, November the 2nd. It was like 2.5 months. He'd get right back in the ring to fight Canelo Alvarez. And he still went 11 rounds with Canelo. So come on, man. That's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm saying. All right, damn. Anyway, shout out to my main man, JC, in the building. Underrated channel. Thanks for keeping it 100. No bias. Yeah, man. Thank you so much, fam. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's ring the Ali bell for my main man, JC. And shout out to the super chat. You see what I'm saying? I really appreciate that. But that's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is when Canelo fought Sergey Kovalev, Kovalev just came off of fighting Anthony Yard. Facts. And it was a war. And Kovalev almost got stopped in that fight. It was the 9th round. He almost got stopped. It was this close from getting the towel thrown in by Buddy McGirt, and the referee almost waved it off. They came out the 10th round, and Anthony Yard was tired as hell. And in the 11th round, Anthony Yard was so exhausted because his dad told him to go all out and knock out Sergey Kovalev in the 9th round. You see what I'm saying? That Sergey Kovalev ended up dropping him with a jab. Am I making an excuse? No. I ain't making no excuses. There's no excuses at all because Sergey Kovalev shouldn't have gotten in the ring with Canelo, but he took the money. All I'm saying is this. He wasn't the same fighter. And I'll argue that with anybody. I don't give a damn who it is. Any boxing channel want to debate on that. Sergey Kovalev was not the same fighter that Canelo fought. He was not the crusher. He was just regular Sergey. Facts. So anybody want to debate that? We can jump on in and debate that all day. But let's talk about Billy Joe Saunders. This Billy Joe Saunders fight. I'm gonna drop the link here. Anybody want to come in? You can come in. Let's talk about this Billy Joe Saunders fight. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's a tall task for Billy Joe Saunders. It's gonna be a tall task for him. It's gonna be a tall task for him to beat Canelo. Canelo's a damn good fighter. Canelo's a damn good fighter. Shelton Moore say, don't believe Cotto was matchmaking. He had to fight Cotto to solidify his status at 160. Fought Mayweather to test himself in money. Yeah, what I'm saying is I'm not saying that every fight he had was good matchmaking. I'm saying, but you got to admit there's a lot of fights that Canelo had. Like I can show you. There's some of these fights he had, that it was just good matchmaking. You know what I mean? And there's some of the fights that Canelo had where people had to lose weight and he fought them at catch weights. He had some of those fights too. You know what I mean? So again, not making any excuses. Not making any excuses for the people who Canelo beat. I'm just stating the facts. Some of these fights were catchweight fights. Sergey Kovalev had just came off a tough fight with Anthony Yard, and 2.5 months later, he's in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's not Canelo's fault. Sergey Kovalev could have said, man, I don't want to fight you. You know what I mean? But Canelo didn't fight Bivol, and he didn't fight Beterbiev neither. And he was smart for not doing that. You know what I mean? So, but go ahead, Mr. Shelton Moore. Go ahead, Shelton.
Sorry about that, Coach. That was the VA. Had to take that call. But like I was saying, those two guys that we talked about, the one guy, Liam Smith. Was it Callum Smith? Callum Smith?
Callum Smith. Yeah, Callum Smith.
Callum Smith didn't compete. And that's my only issue with that fight.
Right.
I don't mind that Canelo beat him up. I thought Canelo was going to beat him up. Everybody figured Canelo was going to beat him up. But the guy didn't compete. So let's take him out of the equation completely. Okay. We know that David Lemieux will compete, but David Lemieux has shown over the course of his career, if he gets in there with a guy who can counterpunch him and that hits hard, he's going to take a nap. So we've seen that. So I say again, out of those 10 fights, name me one of those guys that goes more than 8 rounds with Canelo, because I don't see one.
All right, I'm gonna give you 2. You gonna disagree? Chris Eubank Jr. and David Lemieux.
Okay. I will give you Chris Eubank Jr. because he's a dog. He's just slow as molasses in the wintertime. But he's a dog. David Lemieux, he's out of there in 6. I guarantee that. I got money on that. He's going in 6.
But again, I'm gonna preface this. This is what I'm saying. The reason why I'm saying that these 2 guys out of this whole resume would at least go. You said you said that they would not go 8 rounds with Canelo.
They won't go past 8. They won't go past 8.
I'm saying they will. I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying they will. We're assuming that they are going to go in there and just try to fight. They may go in there and do what Callum Smith did. And
that tarnishes your resume and your legacy in boxing. Callum Smith ain't never gonna live that down. Right. He's never gonna live that down with true boxing fans. He went in there, he didn't even compete. He got on the ropes and laid there and let Canelo beat on it. That's not boxing. You didn't even compete, man. Right, but that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, so we got to preface it this way. Now the question is, out of the 10 fighters that Billy Joe has fought, the last 10 fights, if these fighters come into the ring to compete and fight and beat Canelo Alvarez, will they go more than 8 rounds? Then I would say no. Now, if these fighters are to show up in the ring and fold up like Callum Smith did, will they go more than 8 rounds? Absolutely. Do you disagree with that? Well, that's not saying nothing. I'm 54 years old, and Canelo weighs at most 175 pounds. I can go lay on the ropes for 12 rounds and get the paycheck. I can do that. That's not boxing. I don't think I can. You could. Anybody can do that. That's not boxing. Now you're gonna be hurting though. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna be hurting when you're done, but you won't be too hurt to go to the bank. But what I'm saying is this. It's not impossible for a fighter to go. Especially these fighters. David Lemieux, he's slow, all that, he get hit. You know what I mean? But it's not impossible for them to go 8 rounds. You're talking about 8 rounds. These guys, they can go 8 rounds. I mean, you don't think that? Listen, the Canelo got 18 fights that went the distance with him. He got 8. Listen, okay. Let me ask you this question. Okay. There's a guy on Canelo Alvarez's resume, guys. This guy is. I'm finna tell you right now. Shelton, hold on. I'm looking at Sergey Kovalev. Why I got Sergey Kovalev resume? Yeah, damn Kovalev. All right. He fought a dude named. He got 18 fights. He went with unanimous decision. That went the distance with him. Now once he went on his tear, right? He went to fighting all these great fighters. We gonna dismiss Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin is a special fighter. He went 12 rounds with Sergey Kovalev went 11 rounds with him, right? Okay. Sergey Kovalev shouldn't even went 8 rounds with Canelo, in my opinion. We know Callum Smith laid on the ropes. We know what he did. Liam Smith, Canelo knocked him out. Guess what round he knocked him out in? The 9th round. Okay. So he went 8 rounds. Rounds. Amir Khan, he went 6 rounds. And Amir Khan was a welterweight, right? Right. So he stopped. But here's the difference. Liam Smith came to compete. Right. Amir Khan, small as he was, came to compete. Right, but what I'm saying is Callum Smith did not come to compete, Coach. Right, you can't clean that up. I'm not disagreeing with that, but what I'm saying is, Liam Smith came to compete and he went 9 rounds because he competed. He was trying to win the fight. He didn't come to lay down. Wait, but hear me out though. What I'm trying to say is this: Liam Smith is not a bad fighter, Coach. He's not a bad fighter. No, he's just not on Canelo's level. He's not bad. He beats most of those other guys. No, your argument is that these fighters on Billy Joe Saunders' resume would not go 8 rounds with Canelo. I'm saying that some of these fighters will go 8 rounds. Liam Smith went 9 rounds. He went past the 8 rounds trying to compete. He's trying to
right?
And all those guys you named, Coach, and all those guys you named, I'll take Liam Smith over any of those guys you named, those last 10 that Billy Joe fought. I'll take Liam Smith over any of those guys.
I'm going to tell you another guy, Alfredo Angulo. You know him?
He was a shell of himself by then, Coach. You know that. He wasn't the dog no more.
Guess what?
He wasn't the dog no more.
Guess what?
He was a shell of himself.
But hear me out. He went past 8 rounds with Canelo. He went
10 rounds. Heart and guts. Do you know how tough Angulo is? That's heart and guts. These dudes ain't on Angulo's level. Them 10 dudes are not on Angulo's level.
So you saying Chris Eubank Jr. will not go 8 rounds with Canelo?
A prime Angulo.
You're saying
a prime Angulo knocks those guys out. Those guys don't go 10 with Angulo. A prime Angulo kills all them dudes.
All right,
kills them all.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So how many rounds? So how many rounds does Billy Joe Saunders go with Canelo?
He gets slept in about 8, maybe 9. I'm saying 8. I'm taking 8. He's going before 8.
So Billy Joe Saunders is going to get knocked out by Canelo Alvarez. Your prediction before the 8th round?
Yes.
All right. Now, hey, I take that bet. I take that bet.
Okay.
Hey, listen.
Okay.
Let me be quiet. We got Halim in the building, and we got my brother H Money Boxing in the building. Let me shut my big ass mouth and let y'all cook.
Fellas, what's happening?
Yo, what up, Sheldon? Halim, what's good, Coach? Hey, Coach, my bad, I fell off. My phone died. Yo, Coach, what is Coach Asgie's Instagram, man? If I could message him, or I would love to interview Coach Asgie, man, because I know he worked with Tyson Fury, and I'm a big Tyson Fury fan.
Right, I will tell him that myself, yeah. Get in contact with you, so no problem.
Appreciate
that's Halim. Halim is MTK Global, baby.
You on mute, Coach?
Listen, yeah.
You on mute, Coach?
I just want to say this: what Coach Williams said today is spot on. Yeah, Amir Khan tried. He got knocked, got KO'd in the 5th round. I think it was 5th or 6th.
Yeah, something like that, bro. Something like that.
It was the 6th round. It was the 6th round.
Yeah, before that, Amir Khan did come out with his jabs and all that with speed. I know Billy Joe Saunders got speed, but he weren't able to knock Canelo out. I'll tell you that right now. He's just going to do the rounds. He probably get, like Shelton said, 10, 11 rounds. That's it, maximum. That's all I can say, man. It's going to be a good fight. He ain't going to be like the last 3 fights with Canelo, but he will give him a better fight.
Yeah, I think it's going.
I agree with that. I agree with that, Halim.
So Shelton say that Billy Joe Saunders go out.
No,
he gets knocked out before the 8th. Who got?
What we saying in UK is sorry. Go carry on.
No, sorry about that, Halim. Go ahead, brother.
What we said in UK is, as long as Billy Joe Saunders give him a fight, a dog fight, like Lara did, like Glove King did, no problem. We're happy with that. That's it. That's all we say in the UK. Tell you the truth. Because everything is stacked against him. So if you want to go down, you go down together, man. Simple.
And I can respect that.
Yeah,
I
go ahead and talk what you want to, brother.
What was that, Coach?
I'm sending it to you right now. Check.
Appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, but it's a good fight, to be honest with you. I think Billy Joe could present some problems for Canelo Alvarez, knowing that he's a southpaw, and we know that Canelo had trouble with southpaws in the past, such as Arslandy Lara and Austin Trout. Billy Joe Saunders, very crafty, very slick. He can move. He can box. He can give Canelo problems. I do favor Canelo Alvarez. I was leaning towards a stoppage, but now I'm leaning towards a 12-round decision. I'm leaning towards Canelo, but I could see Billy Joe winning some rounds in there. I could see Billy Joe being competitive because Billy Joe got some of those same qualities as a Arslandy Lara, as a slick southpaw that can move and can box. You know what I mean? So if Canelo decides to go in there and box with Billy Joe could give him problems. But if Canelo goes in there with the mindset of walking him down, going to the body, I can see Canelo body shots
being a difference in the fight. I think Canelo's one.
Of course, man.
What
You
was
can't
that?
deny that. No one can deny that.
Yes.
Of course.
He's one of the best body punchers in boxing, along with Earl Spence. Canelo and Earl Spence, I think, the two best body punchers in the sport. I'm going to lean towards Canelo by unanimous decision, but I think Billy Joe will be competitive in that fight. It's not going to be a walk in the park. I think Billy Joe, his confidence, he believes in himself. Billy Joe actually believes he can win this fight, and I think he gonna be competitive. But I'm leaning towards Canelo in this one, though, Coach.
All right. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Remember, I told him I'm the one jumping out there on the limb. So again, the odds is 450, right? Listen, Billy Joe Saunders is a plus 450 underdog. Let me break this down to you guys. That means is if for every $100 you put on Billy Joe Saunders, you will win $450 if he wins the fight. You have to put $700 on Canelo just to make $100. You see what I'm saying? Because he's minus 700. Wow. He's minus 700. To me, that's crazy. I ain't betting no goddamn $700 to make $100. I'm just not gonna do it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So, but anyways, hey guys in the chat, what round? We got Shelton Moore on the record saying that Billy Joe won't go 8 rounds with Canelo. He's going to get knocked out. Who believes that in the chat? I really want to see that because I don't believe that. Of course, I got Billy Joe winning by 12-round decision. You know what I mean? But I don't believe that he's going to get knocked out. I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. And I'm just being honest with you. And especially before the 8th round. So that means he's gonna get knocked out in 7. So JM says the 9th. So JM said the 9th. Adrian said it goes 12 rounds. Let's see who else. Who else? JM, you leaving off. Marshall said it goes 12 rounds.
Fair play, man. Fair play.
Rob says no, it's gonna be a KO. But you didn't say which round though. You didn't say which round. Dwight says this fight goes the distance. Billy Joe would get the better of him, and he gets robbed on the cards. Okay.
That's most likely, yeah.
Ham said people talking about Canelo's movement, but somebody put some respect on BJ's movement. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Lovers Lane say 10 rounds, 10-round KO. All right, 12 rounds. Hey, Sheldon, nobody in the chat is saying 7 rounds. Everybody's saying 9 rounds or above.
Fair play, man. Good call.
You heard me, Sheldon? Sheldon must be froze. Yeah, he got to come back in. I don't see that, bro. I don't see. Listen, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I don't see no Billy Joe Saunders getting knocked out in 7 rounds. I just don't see that. I just don't. You know what I mean? Like I'm going out on a limb saying 12 rounds, but I definitely don't agree he's going to get knocked out in those 7 rounds. Who believes 7? Okay, Juanito said that. Juanito, he said the 5th round. Okay. No one is only a couple people saying it, but most people saying Canelo unanimous decision. JJ said I agree with Shelton and Halim. I don't know what you agree with. Oh, Shelton said drop the link. So everybody saying so everybody in the chat is saying different. Shelton, everybody's saying different. So Canelo by KO. JC, which round though? Oh, you saying the 10th. JC saying the 10th, Canelo by KO. Adrian says Canelo wins in a close fight on the cards. Canelo was pretty slow on his feet. Saunders moved very good on his feet. Literally don't see it getting stopped. But either way, I hope Billy wins. Okay, listen. We're gonna say what's up to my man Toon for the super chat. Toon in the building. Salute to you, coach. I got Saunders by split decision. All right, Toon got Saunders by split decision. Hey, Sheldon, I think you out on the limb on this one with the 7. You say
I didn't say 7. I said 8. He stops him at 8. I didn't say 7. I said 8.
He stopped him at 8. Okay. Well, everybody's saying 9 or better. They're saying either 9 or better. Canelo split decision. Canelo unanimous decision. Canelo KO in the 10th or the 9th. No one else is saying hey. I'm giving Billy Joe that much respect. Yeah, I think he could do better than that.
Look, he's got to fight like Lara did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Punch and move and slide. If he gets caught on the ring, put it that way, Canelo gonna let loose. You know Canelo body punch.
Right.
If he gets caught on the ring, forget it.
And that's why I love your channel, Coach, because we can agree to disagree. We can all have our own opinions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not right. We don't know what the hell's gonna happen. We just going shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going off a feeling. I don't know. I don't have anything.
I went to a couple today, right? And they knew everything about each fighter. They know how they're gonna win. They say, yeah, this is why he's a bum, and they just know everything. I'm like, well, damn. If we knew who was gonna win, they wouldn't even have to fight.
Right. And then there wouldn't be any such thing as upsets. When you have fighters fight, you have an upset for a reason. Why? Who is upset? Because the guy who was expected to win, no one expected him to lose to the guy who was the underdog. You see what I'm saying? So you're right about that. I mean, I'm just other than that, man. Other than that, but that's another thing I'm gonna say though, Halim. I don't think that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that power wise does what Billy Joe bring anything to the table to hurt Canelo. You know what I mean? Them Mexican fighters, they can take a damn punch, bro.
The best example I could give you right now to everyone is Golovkin. What punch he gave to Canelo? Power punches in his face.
He hit him with Canelo with an uppercut. He hit him with a hook.
Thank you. That's all I can say.
And he ate it. Canelo ate it. Yeah, Canelo ate it. Yeah.
He didn't move.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you right now, Billy Joe Saunders not going for a knockout against Canelo. I'll tell you that right now.
No, he can't do that. He can't do that. No. And again, styles make fights. It just depends on what kind of style that Billy Joe is going to come with. I don't see Billy Joe fighting a style that's going to be tailor-made for Canelo Alvarez. That's another thing too. Listen, I'm glad I just thought of that. Damn, because I don't see Billy Joe. Everyone knows what Canelo likes to do.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows. Canelo doesn't do anything different. He pretty much fights the same way. You know what I mean? I've watched a lot of Canelo Alvarez's fights. He fights the same way. Canelo imposes his will on his opponent, right?
Right.
That's what he does. That's what he does. So I don't think Billy Joe Saunders is going to come up in the ring and say, hey, you know what? I know you want to do this, Canelo. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just allow you to do what you've been doing to a lot of those other guys. I think Billy Joe is going to be slick enough and make it tough enough to where even if he does get beat, he's going to make it past 8 rounds. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Karma, I agree with you, Karma. Karma, you got my back. I like that.
Karma Serene in the building. Let's ring the Ali bell for Karma. Karma she loves Canelo. She loves Canelo. Around Canelo. Yeah, man. Hey, but anyways, it's gonna be a great fight, guys. It's gonna be a great fight. I'm just happy that we are getting the fight. That's
facts. That's what it's all about. Facts. We get the fight. That's all I want.
That's what I'm saying. All this other stuff, H Money, Halim. Listen. Let's focus on who fighting. Because my next topic I want to talk about is we're gonna talk about this boy. What's my main man from UK? Jose Ramirez, right here in the States, Josh Taylor. I like Josh Taylor in that fight. I thought about it. I did some meditating. I went to the Himalayas. I smoked some good green with the Buddhist priest, and I came back with a vision that Josh Taylor is going to pull it out and become the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world. You know, the only one did that recently in recent history has been Terence Crawford. So, what you think about that fight, H Money?
I like Josh Taylor in that fight. I think Josh Taylor is a superior boxer. He got tremendous skills. He has an underrated resume. He won the World Boxing Super Series. He dominated in my eyes. Regis Prograis went in there and beat him up. He beat Victor Postal. Victor Postal in that last fight. I thought Victor Postal was outboxing Jose Ramirez. You know.
H Money, something wrong with your mic, man. You sound. All right, H Money gonna come back in, guys. Sorry about that. H Money gonna come back in. Something was wrong with his feed. So H Money, let me drop the link again so you can come in. Anybody else want to come in the chat? You can, guys. You know how we roll. We rock out with everybody. But yeah, man, listen. The boy Josh Taylor. He guess what? He's tall as fuck too, man. He's what, like 5'10", 5'11". That's a tall dude, bro. That is a tall dude. But he can box though. He can box. So I like Bob Arum. I listen. You know how I bang on Bob Arum, but Jose Ramirez is signed to Top Rank. Bob Arum did allow that fight to happen. So Bob has been giving us some good fights, but then some fights he's been acting flaky on. You know what I mean? I.e. Terence Crawford, i.e. Tyson Fury. So he's been acting flaky on some fights, but he has been giving us some good fights. Jose Cito Lopez, and I think was it H Money? H Money really brought that to my attention. But yeah, Jose Cito Lopez and not Jose Cito Lopez. I keep talking about Jose Cito Lopez. I'm talking about my main man, Teofimo Lopez, and the guy from Russia, Lomachenko. So he did give us that fight. He gave us that fight. And so I really do appreciate that. But that was an in-house fight, though. Let's keep that in consideration. That was an in-house fight. But the Josh Taylor fight, Josh Taylor has an opportunity to make history. You know what I mean? You know, coming from the UK, and I'm betting heavy on Josh Taylor. When I say heavy, I'm betting like $400. That's heavy to me. Hey, as a matter of fact, I need to see the odds on this fight too. I need to see the odds.
Well, coach, I got Ramirez stopping him in 11.
Oh man, see, look, man, listen. There you go.
Ramirez is a dog.
There you go, man. See,
Ramirez is a dog, and Ramirez is bigger than Prograis. Ramirez is gonna stop this boy in 11 rounds.
At 11, okay. Well, at least you're giving him 11. I got Josh Taylor stopping Ramirez, and guess what? I'm gonna give you a round too. I'm gonna say the 10th round. The 10th round, Josh Taylor gonna get Ramirez out of there.
And that's the beauty of boxing. We sure gonna get to see it. What you think, Haleen? I got Ramirez stopping Josh Taylor. Who you got? Haleen, you on mute?
No, you're on mute. Go ahead, Haleen. I unmuted you.
Okay, cool. As you know, Coach William knows I worked with Josh Taylor. I've been to the MTK. I've seen the guy spar. I've seen him knocking out heavy boxers that are heavier than him. He is a ruthless boxer. Don't get me wrong. He's Scottish. It's not English. He's Scottish. And Scottish people are pretty rough. Remember, don't forget he won the Muhammad Ali trophy.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yeah, with a battered eye. Well, come on, man.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did that. He did that. You can't take that from him. Yeah, he did that.
So against Ramirez, it'd be a good fight because he's a Mexican against the Scottish. So
yes,
I go for Josh Taylor. 8th round.
Hey, Sheldon, you got Toon in the building. Hey, shout out to my main man Toon for the super chat. Sheldon, Toon got a bet for you, man.
Tell him,
Josh Taylor.
Tell Toon.
On Josh Taylor's name, man. We gonna put
okay, Toon. Check this out. We can figure out that Taylor Crawford fight ain't happening, so we can switch that 50 we got from Taylor Crawford to Taylor Ramirez. Let's do that.
Listen, right. hey, Sheldon, don't do it, man. I'm telling you, man. Ramirez is going down. I'm telling you, he's going down, Sheldon.
Hey, like I tell anybody else, I'm doing the same thing, Coach. I'm making it light on myself.
Hey.
Josh Taylor does fight like a Mexican. Don't forget. Watch his fight. He does fight like a Mexican.
But listen, hey Sheldon and Haleen, let me switch to another note. How do you see this fight playing out, like stylistically wise? Let's make an argument for both fighters. Right?
Haleen works with Josh Taylor. Let him go first.
Okay, so listen, Holly, let's make an argument for both fighters. Josh Taylor's a tall fighter. He's a bigger fighter, taller fighter.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to give away any game plan or nothing like that. I'm saying what would be more advantageous stylistically for Josh Taylor to do against Ramirez. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a tall fighter, so should he fight him? Should he fight him like that tall? We know Josh Taylor got a lot of tools in his belt. We know that. It ain't too much he can't do. So what would you think? What would you think? How do you see that fight playing out?
I'll tell you about Jose Ramirez. He has got good body shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He has got. I give him respect for that. After the third round, Josh Taylor gonna go for him.
Okay.
Because he knows how the Mexican fighters. He's a Mexican. He ain't gonna stop. He's gonna go forward.
He's gonna go forward. Yeah, he's gonna keep coming. He's gonna walk into a lot of stuff.
Watch all Josh Taylor fights. He's like fighting on the front foot. He just like coming forward. It doesn't matter if you get smacked. He's just like coming forward. By the 8th round, I think Ramirez be knocked out.
Hey, Shelton, what do you think? What do you think stylistically? Do you think that someone like hold on.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a biased guy. I'm gonna be straight up honest. If Ramirez cannot impose his will on Taylor on the inside game, he's gonna lose. He cannot box with Josh Taylor. If he tries to box with Josh Taylor, he loses. He has to impose his will and get inside.
I don't think that Josh Taylor should make it an inside fight game against Jose Ramirez, because to me that's his only shot. You see what I'm saying, Halim? I don't think that Josh should get caught up in, no, I'm just going to go on the inside. No, hell no. You do what you got to do.
Fight inside.
Huh?
You can fight inside, Josh Taylor.
Yeah, I know he can, but what I'm saying is that would be more advantageous to Jose Ramirez. To me, that's the only way Jose Ramirez can win this fight, by making it an inside fight game. You know what I mean? Josh Taylor don't have to fight him that way. You know what I mean? I think Josh Taylor has a lot more tools in his arsenal. He can beat him many different ways. I'm not, he's 5'10". You don't have to fight him. Shit, fight him like a Lennox Lewis fight. Keep that jab on him. And if he come on the inside, punish him. You know?
So as we saw, Coach, as we saw in the Prograis fight, right? Prograis tried to box in the beginning. That wasn't working. He tried to go inside, and Josh Taylor matched him on his inside game. That's what beat Prograis. Josh Taylor was a lot tougher than Prograis thought. So Ramirez's only chance, Coach, is to get inside and impose his will on Josh Taylor. If he can't do that, he has no shot.
Yeah, no, listen, hey, Shep, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. So if that's his only shot, I don't think that Josh Taylor should fight him that way. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he should box him. He should just box him. He can outbox him easy for 12 rounds. Josh Taylor can outbox Ramirez for 12 rounds easy. But Josh Taylor, I think the only problem with Josh Taylor's game is Josh Taylor likes to fight.
Yeah, he likes to. Yeah, he does.
He reminds me of Holyfield in a way. Once he gets hit, now he ready to fight.
Yeah, he does. Listen, the game plan go out the window.
Respect Shelton.
Hey, Shelton. Tool said he got $75 on Josh Taylor. That's easy money.
Do I feel like giving Tool $75? You know what, Tool? I'm gonna take that bet. Go on and screenshot that, Coach. Screenshot that so we locked in. Now, Tool, I don't want no shit about my money now. When it's time to pay, I don't want no shit.
Hey, Tool, I just screenshot that, bro. So I have it on my desktop. I just screenshot it. As a matter of fact, let me show it to you. Let me show it to you so you don't think I'm pump faking. Oh, wait a minute. No, I can't show it. Yeah, I did screenshot it. I did screenshot it. Yeah, man, but listen, bro. I'm just so happy, man, that we have some good fights coming up. We need to talk about the fights that's happening. Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez coming up on May 22nd. We got Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo Alvarez coming up a week from pretty much today, 8 days from today on a Saturday, May the 8th.
Yeah.
Good fight. At least we got some good fights going down the pipe.
Hey, Coach, let me ask Halim this. Hey, Halim, what you think about that Chisora Parker fight tomorrow?
It's not happening.
Chisora pulled out.
Because of the,
He pulled out?
Yeah,
He pulled out? Oh, he wanted to come out first?
He wants more money. That's what it is. He done it before.
Oh my God! Are you fucking serious? Now I gotta order that bullshit. I'm still not gonna do it. I'm just gonna watch the prelims. I'm still not gonna do it. Fuck that fight.
No, you know what I'm gonna do, Sheldon? I'm not gonna buy the Chris Arreola and the Ruiz fight. We just gonna go on somebody else's channel.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with that, bro. I can't fuck with that.
Because I have the Zone app. I got the Zone on my phone, so
I'm Ruiz, man.
Halim, let me ask you this, Halim. So is the whole card canceled?
No. What it is, I'll tell you that. Chisora done it before. He disrespecting Parker. You know what I mean? Over a coin, he wants to come in second. And Joseph Parker won the toss. So he went Mardy. He just wants more money. That's all he wants. For the fight. No fans. Got no fans at all. Pay for view. No one's going to pay for it.
Right.
No one's going to pay for that fight anyway.
Yeah. Well, so the rest of the card is still on, though, right? Because you got Bivol, you got Chris Eubank.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Katie Taylor. Yeah, she's fighting on that. So
now that's a good fight. How do you see that fight, Halim? Katie Taylor and Jonas.
I think Jonas might do Katie Taylor. I think she might do her.
This guy.
Coach, you heard that live, didn't you? You heard that live. He said Katie Taylor going down tomorrow.
Yeah. You know what, man? I'm very but I don't know. I like Katie Taylor, man. I can't. It's hard for me to bet against her. I'm not gonna bet any money on the fight, but I really like Katie Taylor, man. I really like her. She can box. So I'm answering this one guy in the chat. He said, Mike Tyson said that Mikey got no. He said that Mike Tyson said that Billy Joe Saunders was gonna get put to sleep. And my rebuttal to that is Mike Tyson said that Mikey Garcia was gonna beat Errol Spence. We know how that turned out. He did.
Hey, Coach, Halim, let me ask both of y'all this. Do you think those legends were paid to say that Mikey Garcia had a chance in that fight? They had to be, right?
No, I don't. You know what, man? I don't know what Sugar Ray Leonard said it. Mike Tyson. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't mean to curse. I'm like, what the hell? What are you talking about? Like, bro, for real? Like, I'm like, well, maybe they see something I don't see. You know?
Yeah, maybe so.
But I'm like, listen, Mikey Garcia, what? He's 5'6".
Yeah, if that.
Come on, man. Listen, and then the crazy part about it, Mikey Garcia said he wanted a rematch with Errol Spence. The only reason he wanted a rematch is financially. That was the most money that both of those fighters made to date. So financially, it makes sense for them to fight each other financially. You know what I mean? But
okay, let me ask y'all this, Coach. You and Halim. We got Neary versus Figueroa on May 15th. Who y'all got?
Neary versus who?
Brandon Figueroa.
I like Figueroa, man. I like Figueroa. I can't give you no prediction on what round, but
it'd be a close fight.
Knockout.
But Figueroa.
I like Figueroa.
Be a close fight. Be a very close fight.
I like Neary for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm leaning towards Neary in that fight. I mean, neither one of them is going to beat Fulton. Fulton going to wash either one of them. But I think Neary's going to win that fight.
I think it'd be a close fight. Don't get me wrong. But...
Hey, listen. Sheldon, Toon said, what time for my man Toon for the super chat? He said, oh no, never that, man. I'm a man of my word. I will cash app it on the spot. I will be here during the fight, Hey, coach, are you doing a live fight stream? Yeah, I'm doing a live fight stream for the Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders fight. I definitely, most absolutely, I'm doing that.
Hey, too.
I'm not.
So when that happens, what I'm gonna do, too, is I'm gonna send Coach my Cash App information, and you send Coach yours, so he can give it to each one of us. So when the fight is over, we can just go ahead and hit that Cash App, baby.
All right.
Where's my cut?
He said, "Where's his cut?"
Where's my 10%, man? Where's my 10%?
Hey, so how?
Yeah, Halim get 10% for promoting the fight. Yeah, he get 10%.
Look, you get 10% for chucking a towel in. No, that's my job. Chuck the towel in.
Hey, oh yeah, Bobby, yeah, I get what you're saying, brother. I get what you're saying, but the way Mike Tyson said it, yeah, might be saying, might be on that weed, man. So might be saying some crazy stuff sometimes. You know what I mean? But I will say this, Billy, that like as you can see, a lot of these professional fighters, like the vets who fought in the past, they like the Tysons and the Sugar Rays and stuff. I mean, they have opinions like we do. You know what I mean? They are people. They have opinions. You just never know how.
Yes.
You never know how the fight is going to turn out. You know what I mean? Because you never know. You never know. Like, you just never know.
Let me ask y'all this, Coach. Are you guys as excited about Colbert versus Gamboa as I am?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm like Colbert versus Gamboa. Like, what does Gamboa have left right now? He's what, 40? He's 40 years old, right? 39.
Yeah, he's 40. But see, Colbert ain't fought nobody. This is the first person that you know of that he's fought.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
For a long time.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm like, it's like I know that. I think Gamboa just trying to get some money right now, man. Really, he's
well. Look, let's just keep it live, y'all. Let's just keep it live, all three of us. Gamboa went goddamn 12 with Tank. Got stopped in 12.
Was that the 12? Yeah, he right. Almost. I think he got stopped in the 12 or 11, something like. You right.
Yeah. Gamboa went 12 with Haney.
And he ruptured his Achilles.
And he had a ruptured Achilles. I think if he'd been healthy, he might have beat Tank.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, because Tank didn't look good in that fight. He didn't look good in that fight.
I don't know about that.
And if you notice, Coach, after that fight, he moved his ass out of Atlanta now, didn't he?
You talking about
Tank? I'm talking Tank.
Yeah, Tank.
He moved his ass out of Atlanta, didn't he? After that fight.
Yeah, he went to he's at 140 now, right?
Yeah, no, I'm saying he was living in Atlanta when that fight happened. And after that fight, he moved from Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm going with this?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know he was living in Atlanta. I didn't know.
Yeah, he was living in Atlanta when that fight happened. And after that fight, he moved. You see what I'm saying? Because he wasn't ready for that fight. He didn't train properly for that fight. That's why that fight went so long. But Gamboa then turns around and goes 12 with Haney. So I want to see what can Colbert do with Gamboa. Because these guys are supposed to be the guys, Tank and Haney, and they both went damn near 12 with Gamboa. What can Colbert do if he's supposed to be the guy, right?
And you know what, Sheldon? They gave Haney a lot of flack on that too. Like, they saying that, hey, you didn't you went 12 rounds with Gamboa, and you couldn't do this and do that. So do you remember that? Sheldon, they gave
yeah, but all that's cap. That's bullshit because Gamboa is not no easy out. Because if he was a quitter, when he tore his Achilles in the Tank fight, he would have quit. He's not a quitter. Gamboa's a tough out to anybody at 130. He's not no sucker.
Sheldon, check the private chat. I sent you a message. You see that?
I got it, Coach. I got it. I'm gonna write it down right now. I got it.
Okay. Hey, Tune, I just sent him a private message on the cash out. Yeah, man. Listen, Gamboa, he passed the prime, man. I'm not knocking Gamboa. He's a good fighter, but he's just getting checked on now. But I will say this: Gamboa does come to fight. He has a lot of pride. and I don't see him get knocked out early at all. I don't see that at all. He coming to fight.
No. He's got a lot of experience, a lot of ring experience here. I think he lasts more than 7 rounds.
Hey, Bobby, you're right. But gave Bud not a bum. He lost to Bud, but gave Bud a fight for sure. Yeah, that was a long time. That was when he was in his prime. But what I'm saying is, even though Bud's not in his prime, he does come to fight. Yeah. He's a veteran. He knows his way around the ring. And I will say that. Much respect to Gamboa.
Yeah, I'll say that. Well, yeah.
Okay. Now here's another one I'm really excited about, Coach. I'm really excited about this fight. And people think I'm crazy, but I'm really excited about this fight. Jermell versus Castano for Undisputed.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited about that fight too. Absolutely. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of people. Well, a lot of people say Jermell gonna sleep, buddy, right? But I think they might be underestimating Castano. I think they're underestimating him. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a good fight, but I got Jermell beating him though. Jermell.
Here's what makes the fight intriguing for me. I don't know if Halim can back me up on this. We know that Jermell can be outworked. We know that. We've seen that with Tony Harrison. He can be outworked, and we know Castano throws a million punches.
Yeah.
Yeah, he throws a million punches.
Later rounds.
He throws a million punches, man. But Jermell hit hard as a rock, man. That dude. Listen, man.
Yeah, that's it. Can Jermell sleep him? Because Jermell hits like a truck. Can Jermell knock him out though? We don't really know if Castano's not that tough. Castano might be tough. We got to find out.
No, you're right. He might be tough.
You can land 50 jabs. You can throw 50 jabs. But as the judges here, about 2-3 land out of 50. So Castano can chuck about 20-30 jabs, land about 2-3. Right. Jermell, 2-3 body shots, bang, finish.
And Jermell fights with the mean. Like he reminds Jermell Charlo is a modern day Clubber Lang.
Yes.
He's
always mad.
Angry.
He's always angry. He fights with a mean intention.
Listen. If they remake a Rocky 3, which they are doing, they got one coming out. He will be the perfect Clubber Lang.
Yeah, because he's evil. He's just mad and pissed off. Everybody's against him, and he's just trying to knock people's heads off.
Pissed off for no reason. He's just mad for no reason.
I respect him more than his brother, honestly.
Yeah. He's the real lion. Yeah, he's the real lion.
Yeah.
Jermell,
fifth round.
Yeah, he's the real
5th round. Jermell.
Yeah, Jermell gonna knock Buddy out, man. Jermell gonna be undisputed. He gonna knock Buddy out.
I think before.
And you know why we said that?
The fight. Go
ahead, Halim. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Halim.
I think his game plan is. I think every time he walks to the ring, someone pisses them off in the changing room. So when he gets into the ring, bang, bang.
Now, Coach, you haven't really got on Jamal. Now you need to cook his ass for fighting some dude named Montiel. I don't even know who this dude is.
Listen. I promise you I'm gonna get on him next. It's just that Jamal, I'm just so disappointed in him. I'm like, man, this dude do all this camping. We seen Danny Jacobs bitch him up. We know he ain't the real lion. Jamel is the real lion. So I'm just more like, like what's the point? Hey, listen. Even the Alphabet Boys community has been talking bad about Jamal Charlo. So I'm like, well, I let him jump on him.
I mean, come on. Who is this guy? Does anybody know who in the chat? Does anybody know who Montiel is? Who is this guy?
Hey, Bob. Hey, hold on. Matter of fact, super chat. My main man Toon. We're looking out for the super chat, fan. What you say? He said Castano ain't to be slept on. Castano is a good boxer and busy, but Charlo just hit different. I can't bet on that, but I may put a few dollars on Castano depending on what the odds look like. Yeah, depending on what the odds.
Yeah, that's facts. Depending
on what the odds look like. Yeah, Sheldon, this
Yeah.
person here say that he said Jamal fixing to fight my Uber driver.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Jamal, listen, man, I'm highly disappointed in Jamal Charlo, man. Bro, it's like listen.
Come on, man. Leave the bro alone, man. He's doing his job, man. Come on.
Hey, listen. I'm highly disappointed, but I got to get him. I got to cook him too, though. I have to, man. Maybe it might be something that I can say that and make him step up because you talk about Canelo. You don't want to fight Benavidez. Like, who do you want to fight? Well, who do you want to fight?
Well, you got to. You would be biased if you cook everybody else and let him slide.
Yeah, you're right. I gotta get him. I'm gonna get him. Honestly, to be honest with you, Sheldon, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I kind of like forget all about Jamal Charlo. That's the only reason why I ain't saying that. I'm being honest with you. I'm being completely honest with you. Like
we all did. Yeah, we all did.
Yeah,
I just saw this goddamn name. I said, Montiel, who the fuck is that? I never heard of this dude.
JJ said Jamal finna fight a Uber. Yeah, listen, I'm like disappointed in him, man. Jamal fixing to fight my local corner store clerk. Oh man, this is all right. Yeah, okay, all right, guys. We're gonna roast Jamal. I'm gonna make a video. We're gonna roast Jamal. Hey, listen, guys. Hey, listen. I want to give a shout out to my big brother Halim. Shout out to my big brother Shelton Moore. I want to thank everybody in the chat for rocking with us, man. You know what I mean? We're finna get ready to sign out.
Thanks, chat. Halim, you know how we do it, Coach. Anytime, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm gonna drop a video tomorrow at 12, guys. I'm gonna drop a premiere video tomorrow at 12. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is yet. I got the title written down on the pad right now. But, listen, it's not talking bad about no fighter, not nobody. It's just that it's about Anthony Joshua. You know, it's about Joshua. You know what I mean? So we're gonna talk about it.
I'll be waiting for that one.
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
Yes, sir. Me too.
We're gonna talk about AJ, okay? Hey, hold on. What's Ernest? What you say? Ernesto Diaz. You said y'all whack. Okay, brother, that's how you feel, man. So be it. You know.
That's right. Change the channels. Okay, go somewhere else.
This might not be the channel for you, bro. But other than that, this stuff Coach Malachi Williams signing out. Salute to my big brother. Salute the coach. Salute to Shelton Moore. And we signing out, guys.
Peace, fellas.
Peace, everyone.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.